almost over. This is BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. This is the World Cup final in Qatar, and we're hoping for a treat.
Fernandez seals the deal for Argentina.
Mbappe! Oh, what a special goal!
This is better from Argentina, and that's what they can do.
Rabiot, le centre vers Giroud, le but, Olivier Giroud!
Lionel Andrés Messi!
Oh, what a goal! Giordelli, the cleanest of strikes.
Messi looking for the breakthrough goal, and Argentina have got it!
Mbappe is there to score, drives it in from the angle.
Alvarez inside the penalty area, fires it into the top corner.
Here's the ball in, Giroud this time, super powerful, centre forwards header.
Alvarez has increased Argentina's lead!
Giroud this time, 2-1 France,
And maybe, just maybe, it could be Lionel Messi's World Cup.
Here are the two teams then. Argentina make one change from the Croatia semi-final. Di Maria comes in for Paredes in the midfield. Tagliafico retains his place at left back despite the fact that Acuna is available from suspension. Emi Martinez is in goal. Molina at right back, Romero and Otamendi the two central defenders, Tagliafico at left back, a midfield four of McAllister, Fernandez, De Paul and Di Maria. Messi as captain and Alvarez are the two up front. Argentina are in their traditional colours, the white and sky blue shirts and the white shorts. For France, who are in all navy blue, they've made two changes. Both Rabiot and Upamecano have recovered from illness. They replace Fofana and Konate. Hugo Lloris is their captain in goal. It's a back four of Koundé, Upamecano, Varane and Teo Hernandez. A midfield three of Griezmann, Tchouaméni and Rabiot. Dembele, Giroud and Mbappe are the three up front. And a referee is from Poland, Simon Marciniak, who had heart issues about a year ago. He actually had to stop refereeing. So this is certainly a big moment for the 41-year-old who's taken charge of both of these two teams in this tournament so far. France, Denmark and Argentina against Australia. What an atmosphere, Chris Sutton.
Oh yes, absolutely electric. Such a difficult one to call this, isn't it? Both teams have had similar styles. I just wonder with Argentina, Scaloni picking Di Maria, whether that's too big a risk, because he's not going to give Argentina so much going back the way, and maybe Mbappe will have too much freedom. Huge call from Scaloni, risk and reward.
Rob Green.
It's going to be tight, as Chris said. It's a moment of brilliance, a mistake. It's going to be a game where both teams feel themselves into the game, how they go about it, how they look to get their key players into the game. Messi with Di Maria on that right-hand side, up against Upamecano, and Hernandez could be the key battle.
Well, 29 days ago, this Winter World Cup was underway, and now here we are, match 64. And what a final it is in prospect. Messi against Mbappe, a footballing oasis in the desert, and it is certainly a real din being created by a mass of jumping Argentinian supporters in the underway towards our land. I think it's fair to say they're excited.
It is, and just looking at the Argentine setup, Di Maria has started on that left-hand side. I think we all thought he was going to start on the right-hand side, and De Paul will be the one helping out Molina and doubling up on Mbappe to play narrow off the right.
So Argentina are playing from left to right as we look here in the banks of the media tribune in this very impressive stadium in the city of Lusail, 9 miles north of Doha. And the other thing to say as well is that this will be the highest attendance for a World Cup final since 1994, when there were over 94,000 watching Brazil against Italy in the United States. It's going to take some time to settle down. Back to Emi Martinez, all in green. He clears it away. Teo Hernandez controls the ball. Rabiot plays it out towards Hernandez on this near side. And now back to Upamecano as De Paul just running into to Rabiot. And the referee quickly, Polish referee Marciniak, wanting to stamp that out. Just a little nudge in the back there from De Paul and Rabiot.
A bit of a silly shove from De Paul. The position he's playing is going to have to engage Mbappe on numerous occasions and help out Molina. So what he won't want is an early cheap booking.
Just a little wag of the index finger from the bald referee, and quite clearly the message was to cut it out as Argentina take a throw on the left-hand side. McAllister to Messi, central area, plays the ball left-footed out towards Di Maria. Di Maria hooks over the cross on the volley. Messi waits, Rabiot with a header away. De Paul back towards Messi, to De Paul outside the area, scoops the ball forward. Alvarez is there, flags up. It was a late flag.
That's a good call. Just straight a yard offside. Was expecting the ball from De Paul a little bit quicker. Just timed his run so that it was a fraction too early from Alvarez. But it's bright. They're getting Messi on the ball, getting him in and around the penalty area.
Argentina have scored first in all 6 of their World Cup matches here in Qatar. Hugo Lloris, all in yellow, away towards our right-hand side, strikes it away downfield. Giroud with a flick header. Griezmann was also there, brought under control and then played back towards Romero, lifts it long into the centre circle. Towering header from Upamecano, but he's come through the back of Messi, says the Polish referee. Free kick to Argentina.
That's slightly harsh. That is a straight ball clipped up, and Upamecano is always going to beat Messi in the air. He does catch him. I think Didier Deschamps is overly pleased with that decision.
It's a World Cup record for Lionel Messi. His 26th appearance at a World Cup for what is likely to be his 5th and final World Cup finals. Beating the record set by Lothar Matthäus. And in those previous 25, 11 goals and 8 assists. As Argentina attack on that far side, the left. Di Maria trying to come in between 2 French players. Koundé and Dembele out of play. It will go for a throw. Tagliafico will take it quickly, looking for it to settle. Mbappe comes into the central area to get the ball back for the dark shirts of France. Theo Hernandez has given it away straight towards Messi, lays it off. De Paul driving forward, McAllister making the run through the middle ahead of him. He went out wide towards the left, towards Di Maria, and Koundé will clear. France are giving the ball away. They made another error here. Shot comes in from distance. It was a real pile driver as well from McAllister, but Lloris with his body behind the ball made a comfortable save.
That's a nervy start from France, number of mistakes. Lloris straight into the midriff, grateful for the catch, but France has got to get a foot on the ball, get a hold of it, get a feel of it, get into the game.
Just as a reminder, this is live on BBC One. You can watch and listen through World Cup Extra on the iPlayer to listen to the 5 live commentary if you so wish. We have Chris Sutton and Rob Green with us here in Lusail. 0-0. The ball is played back. Just need to settle it, don't they? The reigning champions do look nervy.
Yes, they do. It was Griezmann who's had such a good tournament, carelessly giving the ball away just outside his own 18-yard box, which allowed the shot from McAllister. But just trying to get a foothold now, France, in the game, make a few passes.
What is interesting is that Argentina, this is their 5th match that they played here in Lusail. Saudi Arabia and Mexico in the group stages, Netherlands and Croatia in the knockout stages. This is the first visit to Lusail for France here in this World Cup final. 6 minutes played. Dembele, right hand side, back with Koundé. Now to Varane, one of the players who's recovered from illness. Another one is Upamecano as the 2 central defenders exchange passes just outside the centre circle. Varane now with Upamecano. Lionel Scaloni is out in that technical area. Back with Varane, not really going anywhere at the moment. If anything, they're being forced slightly backwards here, France. As Messi just runs towards Upamecano and he passes the ball out wide. Tagliafico with interception before it could reach Dembele. Griezmann now takes over. Tchouameni runs through the centre circle on the halfway line. Alvarez, who was in pursuit. He's just pulled back at the arm of Rabiot and gives away a free kick. Rob.
Yeah, it's interesting that France, when they get the ball, Hernandez, as we know, he's likely to go up high. They revert to a flat back three almost, and that lends itself to Argentina pressing man for man and then not moving the ball quick enough to cause Argentina problems.
In the midfield, now with Messi for Argentina, threads a lovely ball through towards McAllister. McAllister has Di Maria ahead of him, streaking away on the left-hand side. Alvarez waits, De Paul just on the edge of the area, held up. There is Di Maria on the left, McAllister back inside. This is Fernandez, short diagonal ball cut out by Griezmann. It'll break to Alvarez, ever alert, lays it up towards Di Maria, left-hand side of the penalty area, with the cutback, edge of the area, to De Paul. De Paul with a shot, takes the deflection off the legs of Varane, and behind it goes for a corner kick, 0-0.
Yeah, really positive start from Argentina. Di Maria causing problems on that left-hand side, pulls the cross back to De Paul, who's on 20 yards out, who hammers a shot. It was actually going well wide, off Varane's left shin and behind. The corner to Argentina.
Argentina have made the better start. We've been playing for 8 minutes. Messi waits, just adjusts the ball in the quadrant down below. Corner kick on this near side to right for Argentina, playing from left to right. Messi delivers it low, cleared by Griezmann at the near post. De Paul plays it back out towards Messi, controls it first time, looks to try and run at Griezmann. They doubled up on him, and Mbappe was helping out Griezmann. De Paul now will send over an arcing cross. Plenty of navy shirts are back there. It goes high in the air. Rabiot goes to ground. Lloris can't get on the end of it. Referee's blown his whistle. There was a foul on Lloris, who's down.
Now, I'm not a goalkeeping expert. We've got Rob who is, but as that ball goes up in the air, initially the Rabiot header, I think Lloris has to come for that. Rob?
It's a really difficult one going up in the night sky, swirling around, and you're looking and you're thinking, can I catch it? As you told him to do in the past, just catch it, Lloris. I think it's such a high ball and there's so many bodies, he can't make that clean claim. He then gets caught by Romero. I think that's his case in point.
Just like the supporters, it's been a lively start from the Argentinian players, Chris Sutton.
Well, it has been. The team on the front foot. Worrying for Didier Deschamps. Lloris down. Took one in the ribs from his Tottenham teammate.
Just interesting that he's touched on it before, Chris, that how Argentina have set up. We thought that Di Maria would start on the right. He's very, very high, very, very wide on the left. And they're looking for him early. And a big switch to get out there. And from there, you're then saying, get bodies around it. And that's what they've done well.
Has to be concerned, though, here for Hugo Lloris. Romero it was who caught it.
I think in fairness to Romero, as the ball goes up in the air, Upamecano shoves Romero, who then flies into Lloris. The longer he's down, he's sitting up now, which is an encouraging sign.
Lengthy stoppage, though, for the French captain. Started 5 of the 6 games out here in Qatar. Excellent against England and Morocco. Interesting that he kept 3 clean sheets in 6 when they won the World Cup 4 years ago in Russia. He's only kept the 1 clean sheet so far, but at least he looks able to continue.
Goalkeepers have gone soft, haven't they? Staying down from a challenge like that.
Do you want to respond to that, Rob?
It's not nice getting a dig in the ribs in any sense.
He's all right after a lengthy stoppage here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Lloris clears it long downfield, left-footed. Giroud tries to get on the end of it. Headed away by Tagliafico, the left-back for Argentina. Rabiot with a ponytail heads it forward. Griezmann tries to win it back. There was De Paul. McAllister turns out towards Di Maria, far side the left. Tagliafico plays the ball back, and Argentina will go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, the first Aston Villa player to appear in a World Cup final. Ball sent forward by Fernandez, Alvarez will give chase, Varane tidies up towards Lloris, clears it away first time left-footed. 12 minutes played, still goalless here in Lusail. De Paul, Molina, not had chance to get forward so far on this right-hand side, the right back. Di Maria controls the ball left-hand side, pulls it back, cut out by Tchouaméni, almost reached Messi, still they attack. De Paul, Messi's on the stretch, and then cleared away. Alvarez charges it down from Theo Hernandez, attempted clearance. That's what he gives you, Alvarez. It's not just his goal threat and his pace, his work rate. We've seen it in the quarter-final and the semi-final. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, well, the Argentina team have started with great intensity. Doesn't give the French defenders a moment's peace there, and that run just moments before that, he'll do that all evening, stretch that French back line. That allows Messi to come into those little spaces that are created to get on the ball and do his thing.
Here is Varane, midway through his own half. France are in all navy, playing from right to left. This is 5 live and it's still 0-0. Koundé to Dembele, quickly closed down. Dembele though will wriggle free. Plays the ball to Theo Hernandez, now with Mbappe. Mbappe left corner of the area. First real chance we've had of Mbappe in this game so far. To Rabiot, the return ball. Mbappe's pace tries to get in there. But the anticipation from Emi Martinez, he was quick to accelerate off his line, and he goes down to ground and makes a smothering save.
He's quick, he's not that quick. Martinez, once it gets beyond the defender Molina, he knows he's got that time to come out, but all of a sudden the intensity of the game just raised once Mbappe got the ball.
At the back, cleared away by Romero. Alvarez and Messi exchange a couple of headers. It will run through to McAllister, who quickly sprays it out towards the left. Di Maria is attacking on that far side, coming in field now towards Messi. Messi on the edge of the area, tries to play the return ball towards Di Maria, coming back from an offside position, surely, yes he was. And that will be a free kick to France.
Just wondered there, Messi 25 yards out, whether he was going to get a shot off himself, but he saw the run of Di Maria. Unfortunately for Argentina, Messi just proceeded to pass the ball straight to Koundé.
Been playing for nearly a quarter of an hour. Argentina against France. The backdrop of 50,000 Argentinians in this World Cup final. It will sound slightly different on Tuesday night for the first of 3 successive nights of League Cup action for you on 5 Live when we're at MK Dons against Leicester City. That's for next week, as our live football will continue. Wherever you can go though, always remember BBC Sounds is the place to take 5 Live with you. But here we are in Lusail, and it's with Fernandez out towards Molina, the attack-minded right back, who plays it now towards Romero. Otamendi carries the ball over the halfway line out towards Di Maria. Tagliafico. Fernandez left of the centre circle, and Fernandez just linking up the play with the central defenders as Romero takes over. Indeed, Fernandez now drops in between the 2 central defenders as the fullbacks are pushed on. And as Tagliafico makes a run in field, Di Maria drops just over the halfway line on that left-hand side, and at a walking pace, Argentina are controlling this game. And then Molina tries to make that darting run forward, but the ambitious ball is too far ahead of him, and it goes out for a France throw. Rob Green.
Yeah, it's interesting. Griezmann's the comfort blanket for France when they haven't got the ball. When they want to go and press and risk it a little bit, he steps up out the line. There, they realise haven't quite got the game right yet. They haven't tactically got this right yet. So he's dropped a lot deeper into midfield and said, right, you got to play round us. The game slows down, they win the ball back and get a little bit of control again.
When they last met at a World Cup in Kazan 4 years ago, it was the last 16. There'd already been a goal at this stage. It was a Griezmann penalty as the loose ball is picked up by Argentina. Messi to the ball back towards Messi. It'll fall to Di Maria, and he skied it just inside the penalty area. Central position, right-footed, couldn't keep it down. Goal kick 0-0.
Oh, once again, sloppy play. This time from Hernandez, the French left back, and as the ball is fed in field, Messi picks the ball up and pops it out to the right-hand side. De Paul feeds across him. Di Maria on his weaker right foot, it just bobbles up slightly. Was he 16 yards out centrally? It's a really poor connection, well over the bar, but I think Scaloni will be happy with this start from the Argentinian team.
He's playing on the wrong side, isn't he? Should have been coming on his left.
Rob Green and Chris Sutton with us, 17 minutes played, we're still awaiting the goal. Indeed, you were in that game in Kazan, weren't you, when France won by 4 goals to 3.
In the cooking pot in Kazan, and talk about that Griezmann penalty, that came from a run from Mbappe, the length of the field to win the penalty, but he's barely had a kick so far.
From the cooking pot in Kazan to the cauldron of noise in Lusail. Here is Mbappe, near side, the left for France, back to Hernandez, goes further back to Upamecano, goes square across the back now towards Varane. Varane, right of the centre circle, approaches the halfway line. Koundé plays it forward, Dembele now links up with Koundé, but the return ball, Dembele will get there with his pace. Although the Argentinian support behind that goal thought that it had actually gone out of play. We're too far away to tell. France have got a throw, right-hand side. But we've hardly seen much of France as an attacking force in these opening 18 minutes as Koundé goes back to Varane, almost midway through the Argentinian half. Now with Upamecano. To this near side now to Theo Hernandez. Here's Mbappe. Flicks the ball forward. Hernandez goes to ground. Referee will give the free kick. Free kick to France in a very dangerous position, about 6 yards up from the byline, left of the penalty area.
Yeah, I think he's better going forward, Hernandez, than he is defensively. He just draws the foul from Romero, the right centre-half for Argentina, comes out and brings him down. Clever little touch to get past him, and now this is an opportunity for France. Griezmann wanders over, that wonderful left foot.
The French tricolours are flying away towards our right, but our eyes are cast to the left because that's where Griezmann has placed the ball down. Argentina have everybody back inside their own penalty area. It's Griezmann, left-footed, dinks it towards the far post, and it was Olivier Giroud who threw himself at that 6 yards out and couldn't keep it down, and it will be a goal kick.
A free kick awarded anyway. I don't think Giroud does a lot wrong there. Gets above his defender, jumps early. That's the key. We saw the issues that the Argentinian centre-halves had with the Dutch. Giroud, a specialist in the air, scores Romero and Otamendi all sorts of problems if he gets the right service.
He's become, in this tournament, the all-time top scorer for France, and he was looking for what actually would have taken him level with Mbappe and Messi on 5 goals in order to try and maybe win the Golden Boot here in Qatar. 20 minutes played, still 0-0. What have you made of the opening 20 minutes, Rob Green?
Well, I think that chance just sums up France, doesn't it? They don't play well. They don't look like they've got the game together. Then all of a sudden, they pop up, 2 passes, a good free kick and an opportunity for Giroud. It's just how France play.
Here is Messi, collecting the ball midway through the France half. Molina is the outlet on the right-hand side. Back with De Paul. France have everybody back behind the ball. Now it is with Otamendi. Fernandez closed down by Griezmann. Romero inside the centre circle as it goes back. De Paul on the halfway line, plays it forward. Fernandez is able to turn, runs through towards McAllister. They play it out towards the left, quickly feeding it towards Di Maria. Di Maria cuts inside. Di Maria's done well. Di Maria goes down, and the referee gives a penalty. Bundled over from behind. And you know what this means? That Lionel Messi will have the opportunity to give Argentina the lead.
It's brilliant play on the byline from Di Maria. Shapes across the ball in left-footed, and he drives inside Dembele, and there is contact from Dembele. It's a clumsy challenge from him. We know Di Maria doesn't need a second invitation to go down. He goes down.
It'll be checked by Thomas Wiatkowski, the Polish VAR.
Well, it won't get overturned because he's got the wrong side of him and he makes contact. It's so soft from a France's point of view. Dembele sells himself out wide and then just makes the faintest of contact. Di Maria looked up, knew that there was no options in the penalty area, was like, please, just make contact. I'm going to go down, and he duly obliged.
Lionel Messi's already scored 3 penalties. He did, of course, miss against Poland, but he's only missed on 4 occasions in his international career out of 28 attempts. Lionel Messi, for what would be his 6th goal of this tournament, runs up now, left-footed, and scores! The little man for the big occasion! And Lionel Messi is absolutely swamped by his teammates! We all know what the missing piece is in his illustrious career, and he has got the breakthrough goal! And Argentina lead France by a goal to nil. He was never going to miss. 1-0.
And listen to this noise. You're right, he was never going to miss. Just slows his run up down a little bit. Lloris goes to his right hand side with Messi is watching him all the way. Just pops it in the other corner. Cool as you like, the coolest man inside the stadium. Great start for Argentina. France have work to do.
We are midway through the first half. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And to take you through the half-time, here's our correspondent John Murray.
Well, thanks, Ian. And Lionel Messi now crosses the halfway line, having just scored in a World Cup final. He's just done something that Diego Maradona did not do. And as he walked back from the celebrations, the frenzied celebrations down close to the corner flag, he just raised his fist and punched the air. And Argentina have the edge over France. Argentina on the back foot now, but the noise inside the Lusail Stadium here, all around us. Here's Mbappe, slips the ball into the penalty area, but he doesn't find a teammate. And now Argentina break again. Alvarez, and then a backheel flick from McAllister knocks it back down into the left-back position, where Tagliafico plays it out of play off the man who conceded the penalty, Dembele. So Lionel Messi scores his 97th international goal, and that is his 12th at World Cups, which means that he now moves alongside Pelé in terms of the total number of goals scored at World Cup finals tournaments. Everything he does, there is a milestone attached to it, but what he really wants is that golden trophy in his hands. And with that penalty, he's put Argentina in pole position. Rob Green.
Yeah, well, the way that they've started and how poor France have been realistically in this opening quarter of the game, there's an opportunity for more. We saw against Croatia that they almost ran away with the game once the crowd got up, once they got lifted. Croatia couldn't respond. France have got to up it now because this could run away.
They've been the better team, now they have the lead. Argentina looking to win the World Cup for the first time since 1986. And France though winning the ball back. Here's Giroud, but Giroud quite strongly challenged. He was by the Argentine defender, came in at pace. Giroud went down Chris Sutton. France have a free kick in a good position.
Yes, about 30 yards out. Romero, strong challenge into the back of Giroud. I mean, what the Argentinian goal might do and should do, you'd think, is liven this French team up a little bit. They have been way off the pace this opening 26 minutes.
Well, it is a free kick after Romero's challenge. So that was Tottenham on the former Arsenal and Chelsea man, Giroud. Free kick, Griezmann's going to take it, but referee Marciniak says, hang on a minute, hang on, blows his whistle because there's been a collision on the edge of the box. Giroud is trying to help up the player who went down, who was Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo Fernandez wasn't for the hand of friendship there, Chris, as it was offered by Giroud very gallantly.
There's not going to be too many hands of friendship. It's a coming together. Giroud catches Fernandes, who stoops down. Giroud catches him with his forearm.
And he's still at him, Giroud, now, as Griezmann will take it, left-footed into the penalty area, but that's effectively headed away. Then nodded back over the top by Theo Hernandez. He was caught late, I think. In fact, he's adjudged to have committed the foul, Theo Hernandez, and it's the Argentine player who's down, and the referee's immediately called for the medical people to come on because it was a clash of heads. Between, Messi, it's not a clash of heads. He's been caught on the side of his shoulder, I would say.
Theo Hernandez is guilty of winning a header, and that's it. It's an incredible decision. I would take a punt that if that wasn't Messi going down, the referee wouldn't have given a free kick to Argentina.
And what a position the free kick would have been in for France. But you can't give free kicks against Lionel Messi.
Free kick given to Argentina. Argentina lead France by 1-0 in this FIFA World Cup final here in Doha on actually what feels like quite a cool evening. And it feels like there's a breeze blowing around the ground. But that's the air conditioning inside this stadium. It's actually a very pleasant evening outside. I'm not even sure they would necessarily need to have switched it on. But the temperatures are cool inside. But this World Cup final is warming up, and certainly that moment, that Lionel Messi goal-scoring moment, even though it's from the penalty spot, that's what all of these Argentina fans were dreaming of when they came here. Hugo Lloris sent the wrong way, Rob.
Yep, it's an awful one for a goalkeeper. Just the pause, the weight and the look, and you know as soon as he looks at you, any inkling, any flinch, he's going the other way.
Here he is now, Messi down the right-hand side, but in comes the challenge from Theo Hernandez to block it behind for another corner to Argentina. Almost half an hour play. This is 5 Live from the BBC. Listen as well via BBC Sounds. There's still time to take the World Cup with you on BBC Sounds, and we're also across Africa on the World Service. And it is a corner. Lionel Messi way down in the corner, a little bearded figure, those shorts that come right down to his knees, left-footed into the near post, and it's headed away. Giroud actually in between two Argentinians, and then the offside flag is up as Messi takes the ball under control, and it's a free kick to France in their own left-back position. Argentina 1, France 0. Chris Sutton.
Yes, really good defending from Giroud. Good ball in from Messi. Left-footed in swinger. Giroud good in the air in both boxes.
So it is a free kick for France. Lionel Messi, incidentally, as well, becomes the first man to score in a World Cup final for Argentina since 1986, since they last won it. The last goal was scored by Jorge Burruchaga, who scored the third goal when they won 3-2 against the then West Germany. That was Diego Maradona's team. As I say, he didn't score in that final. It was Lothar Matthäus who was looking after him, but all of his teammates stepped up and Argentina won it, and they're winning this one. And here's Di Maria with a cross on the left-hand side, but he's put far too much on that, and it's out of play for a throw-in in the left-back position. That was the wild card selection, if you want to call it that, from Lionel Scaloni, who, see Di Maria over there, puts his hands on his head in anguish, but he brought him in to start, and he started him on the left-hand side and Messi on the right.
Yeah, and it's a poor ball in, but what it does do is make the pitch a lot bigger for Argentina, him holding out wide. Then they've got the options to find other players, and France haven't come up with an answer yet.
No, they haven't. And it is Argentina in the famous blue and white striped shirts, white shorts, white socks, who have the ball, and it's played back into central defence. And Otamendi and Romero are there. Nicolas Otamendi, the former Manchester City man, tonight, incidentally, winning his 100th cap in the World Cup final. Doesn't get much better than that, particularly if you go on to win it. And they are 1-0 up. And here is De Paul on the right-hand side, the joker in the pack, they call it. Plays it back to Messi. Messi now through the middle. Alvarez is there. Back to Messi. This is middle of the half. Messi turns away from Griezmann. And now, with his right foot, clips the ball out. Di Maria's going to do well to reach that. The ball bounced up. The assistant says he did manage to get under control before it bounced over the line. Back it comes to McAllister. The Brighton man's made a very good start to this game, I must say. Here he is again on the left-hand side. The first Brighton and Hove Albion player to play in a World Cup final. And it's come back to him, but he rather snatched at the shot, and it's bounced out of play way over here on the right-hand side for a throw into France. Chris Sutton.
A bit of a commentator's curse there, John, as the ball came back to him, 25 yards out, left-hand side of the box, slashes the ball out wildly for a throw-in on the far side of the pitch.
We're all guilty of that at one time or another, as you may know. Chris, by the way, will be hosting 606 tonight, a Doha Salford edition of 606. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton taking your calls. Here's Messi now just outside the area, moving from right to left. Upamecano went with him and put in the challenge, went to ground. He had to make it, he did. Good tackle from Upamecano. Now it's back with Argentina again. De Paul on the right hand side, right footed cross to the back post. Koundé heads that out to the edge of the area, and Dembele is able to flick it further away. France just can't get out, and Argentina, having taken the lead, they are right on top. They've not taken the foot off the accelerator pedal since they took the lead. Here's McAllister again, but a heavy touch from him under pressure from Tchouameni, and it's out for a throw into France.
Yeah, McAllister has had a really good start to this game, making some good forward runs there on that inside left, with Di Maria just hanging out on the touchline and causing problems. All the talk before the game about Messi, and Mbappe's barely touched the ball.
Yeah, we've just seen really the odd glimpse of what Kylian Mbappe might be able to do. If it was a contest between Messi and Mbappe, then it is Messi who's winning that one.
France have got it all to do. They just moments, just smashing the ball anywhere. There's no control in there. Moments ago, they had their throw-in their own half, and within 2 passes, Messi was taking a shot on goal, and it's just from their own throw-ins. It's basic stuff for France at the moment. They just can't get it right. They're looking around. Tchouameni doesn't know where he should be playing. Griezmann's having to drop in to help him out, and in turn, they just can't get out their own half.
Argentina 1, France 0, with just over 10 minutes to go to half-time, and it is Argentina with the ball. Here is De Paul with those socks disappearing around his calves, back into central defence, and then De Paul takes it again. He's got no one in a deep blue shirt anywhere near him, so he gives it to Messi to his right. Why wouldn't you? Messi clips it left-footed right across field to Di Maria with those 2 wristbands on. Di Maria now back to Messi just outside the area. Rabiot put in the challenge, and that meant it bounced away back towards Fernandes, closer to the halfway line. Fernandes receives it again. Benfica man, another hot property. Benfica, who've made this unbeaten start to the season. That's where Otamendi's playing now. So 2 Benfica players in this Argentine side, and it goes back into the centre circle. Argentina dominating possession as well as everything else, and actually it goes all the way back to the Aston Villa man Martinez, who's barely been tested yet, and they're knocking the ball around with some confidence. Argentina,
They're looking so comfortable, and they've got space. They've got, well, John, you've done it again.
Yes, as the ball was played to the right-hand side to Molino, hit with some pace. Now Mbappe takes on the right-sided defender Romero, went past him, but the cover was there, and Argentina were able to clear it. Scaloni urging his team on from the edge of the coaching area as Upamecano put in the challenge, but Argentina running rings around France, and Alvarez plays it forward, and McAllister hits it across, and Di Maria is there! 2-0 Argentina! France lost it on the halfway line, and Argentina were absolutely ruthless, and it's Di Maria, the man for the big occasion, the man Scaloni brought back in for the final, who gives his team a 2-0 lead before half-time. Argentina 2, the holders France 0.
Absolutely ruthless Argentina there. There was a ball helped onto Messi, and 2 quick touches, flicks the ball up left-footed outside of the left boot, and then McAllister's away, makes a forward run on the right-hand side of the box, could have taken a shot on himself, but had the awareness, had the composure to find Di Maria, and waits the ball perfectly. It allows Di Maria to just move onto the ball seamlessly, and he actually, I think he chokes the ball down into the floor over Lloris, maybe gets a little bit lucky, otherwise that's absolutely genius from Di Maria. But Argentina are blowing this French team away.
It's brilliant counter-attacking one-touch football, and it is a brilliant finish. It's Mesut Ozil-esque, playing back in the Arsenal days where he deliberately bumps it into the ground and over the Lloris. Complete wave of blue and white to our left, to in front of us, just went up. That's the comfort that they needed. That's the one that they've deserved from this first half, because France have not thrown a punch.
2-0 to Argentina in the 2022 World Cup final, and all of these Argentine supporters who've come here in their thousands, they reckon 50,000 Argentina fans are here in Doha, in Qatar, to witness this, what they hope would be their first World Cup triumph since 1986, and with this scoreline it looks very possible that it will be. The holders have got an awful lot to do from here.
Well, I'm baffled by Deschamps that it's 37 minutes into the game and he's not changed it. We're sat up here, everyone can see it, it's just not working. What they're doing isn't working. It needs to change. They're walking their way to defeat. They could have already lost it by now.
And what a scene we have. Down to our left, behind the goal that Emi Martinez is defending. What a scene, blue and white of Argentina. So many of them on their feet. They couldn't sit down for this. And they are singing, they're cheering, they're waving their flags. And at the front of that section as well, so many blue and white Argentina flags and so many images of the face as well of Diego Maradona. And now the ball is played up for France, but in steps Romero, and Argentina will come forward again, and it's played for Messi, and Messi up against Upamecano, who was rather caught out incidentally for the second goal. Upamecano dived in on the halfway line, was caught out of position. France were all over the place, and Argentina really took advantage of the space.
No, he's the one who gave it away as well. It's desperation just to win it back, and you knew as soon as he did that they were away, and it's whether they could be clinical, and they were.
Argentina 2, France 0, half-time approaching, and the world champions France are going to have to pull something truly dramatic out to turn this around. Messi, still plenty of time though. Messi inside his own half, just taps the ball back into central defence, and Otamendi gives it out to the left-hand side, and it looks as though France are going to make a change. Marcus Thuram is being called forward by Didier Deschamps, the son of his old teammate Lilian Thuram, and that change is going to be made before half-time. You said it, the two of you, that he had to be proactive, he had to do something, Didier Deschamps, and he's not going to wait until half-time. And it looks as though it's going to be a double change he's going to make. So desperate times calling for desperate measures for the World Cup holders. Argentina in possession. Argentina with it on the right-hand side. Molina, but then Tchouameni is able to hook it forward, but there's no one there in a dark blue shirt. Giroud will chase it, but it's played forward by Romero. And now Molina again to De Paul, who will go back into central defence. So a double change, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, Thuram came on and he'll play off the left-hand side, so it looks...
Fouled by Koundé on the far side.
It looks as if Mbappe will go and play centre forward, and Mourani, the goal scorer, came off the bench to score against Morocco. He'll go on the right-hand side, so it looks like Dembele will be the one to make way, and Olivier Giroud, I think.
Yep, that's right. It is. The number 9, the red number 9 is up. So Giroud and Dembele off before half-time in the World Cup final. What a disappointment. And for Olivier Giroud at 36, you know, he'll almost certainly never get an opportunity like this again, and he's not lasted the first half. And 4 goals at this World Cup, such a totem for them as well when they won 4 years ago, and that's it. His night's over. Ruthless.
Remarkable decision that, taking off the all-time leading goal scorer when the one thing that you do need is goals.
Just watching there was a little acknowledgement between Deschamps and Giroud, and France have been so flat. I mean, listen, we've talked as well over the last few days about this virus that has run through the French squad. I think you have to consider whether that is a factor in what we're witnessing here. because they have been so flat. But then again, this is not completely out of keeping with the way that they've played at this World Cup. Argentina have just dominated them. So a double change. And Thuram and Colomwani have come on. And Mbappe is now playing through the middle. But a free kick has been conceded by the French for a foul over there on the far side. So it's a free kick to the team that lead by 2-0. So two of the most experienced men in world football have scored the goals. Lionel Messi from the penalty spot with the opener, so he now leads the top scoring standings, 6 goals at this World Cup. So Messi scoring the opening goal as he wins his 172nd cap, and Angel Di Maria as he wins his 130th. And it is Argentina who are backed by this deafening chorus from their supporters. Di Maria on the left-hand side. Di Maria taking on Koundé, bounces off the French right back, who's just able to get to it and play it forward. But Colomwani is caught in possession, but the tackle actually causes the ball to run back over the dead ball line, and it is a goal kick to France. Rob.
Yeah, well, you're looking at France now, and you're looking at whether they've changed shape a great deal. And it's Thuram who's holding higher on the left-hand side. Realistically, they've got 2 minutes to get through to half-time, and Deschamps will have to have the team talk of his life to get anything, any semblance out of this.
So Argentina looking good, playing the ball out, and it bounces off Alvarez. Tchouameni, that's a nice piece of footwork from him, gives it to Rabiot. But Argentina are tigerish, and De Paul is into the tackle on Thuram, and the ball's deflected out of play for a throw-in that Theo Hernandez is going to take to Tchouameni. I mean, their tails are up, they're confident, they're not allowing France to settle on the ball, and it really looks from the position that they're in here that there is that absolute hunger here not to give France a sniff, not to give them a glimmer, and the French have been forced back halfway into their own half. Here is Varane, who will carry the ball forward towards the halfway line. He was one of the players who was doubtful because of that virus. Upamecano as well, coming back into the team. Konate is among the substitutes, incidentally, as the ball is played forward through the middle to Mbappe, and the challenge that came in on him from Romero just caught him. Referee Marciniak gives the free kick France as well.
He's playing on the edge, Romero. Tottenham fans won't be surprised by me saying that, but that's about 3 or 4 in this half that he's been a little bit reckless and gone in a little bit rash, and fortunate not to get booked so far.
Free kick taken by France. We're in the last minute of the first half. 5 Live on the World Service from the BBC. Listen as well on BBC Sounds. Ball played through the Mbappe, but in comes the challenge, and Argentina have got it again, but it's given away. This is centrally with Muani, but in comes the challenge this time again from Romero. Comes back at the Argentine defence. That's cleared away by Molina, and there's Messi halfway inside his own half, just working the ball back to Molina on the right hand side. Molina turns it infield. Thuram was there as well. Fourth official way down below just flashes the number on the electronic board. Now we can see it's 7 minutes of added time. Not sure what we've seen in the first half particularly merits 7 minutes. Of course, we had the stoppage for Lloris.
Yeah, Lloris was down for a while, wasn't he? But
just actually a couple at the other end as well.
Yeah, just defensively, Argentina defending with so much greater intensity. That battle in the middle of the park, Argentina really dominant there.
As the ball is played over the top 10, the left-hand side. I think what we heard there was Angel Di Maria screaming for a free kick as he went down. I think it was either that or one of those children's toys.
It's a scream of the thought of having to run another 50 yards after 45 minutes of football.
Koundé with the challenge, and Di Maria went down. As Chris suggested, sometimes he goes down when there's not an awful lot wrong with him, but he's been pivotal, hasn't he? He's won the penalty and he scored the second goal. Di Maria having been brought back in by the coach Lionel Scaloni, and he's watching on. He's been there right on the edge of the coaching area the full time. Tracksuit manager, tracksuit bottoms, trainers on, watching the ball being played forward, which deflects out to Mbappe, who has actually come out to the left-hand side, looks for Thuram. The long legs of Marcus Thuram, takes it on down the line, tries to work it back, but there are 2-3 Argentine players, and then there's a high foot from Theo Hernandez onto Paul, who went straight down. Referee will come across. I think that's a final warning for Theo Hernandez, who actually throws the ball away in disgust as he's sent on his way by the referee. Free kick Argentina, they lead 2-0. They've absolutely dominated the first half of this World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And they defend ferociously, don't they? They fight, they scrap, they
do everything ferociously, Chris.
They absolutely do, but...
Do you listen to them sing the national anthem? Ferocious.
Well, passionate. Is there a difference, John? A little bit?
Passion bordering on ferocity.
But they've been the dominant team, haven't they? They've outfought, outworked, outthought the French team. And as Rob said, Didier Deschamps has made a couple of changes already, but you're going to have a drastic turnaround at half-time to try and somehow get back into this game.
It's going to have to be transformational, what they do in this match, to turn this around from 2-0 down in a World Cup final when they have just been bossed, as they say. Here is Molina playing it through. It's every chance Argentina might get another one before half-time. It's played through for Alvarez, but Varane comes across and puts it out of play. And it's a throw-in for Argentina down the right-hand side. Argentina, who, don't forget, are the reigning South American champions, winning that last year. That was Messi's first senior international title, and how that was celebrated, winning it as they did in the Maracanã against Brazil, and then beat the European champions Italy in that one-off finalissima earlier this year, and now they're dominating the world champions, the World Cup holders, France. And at the moment it looks as though it is going to be Argentina, not France, who will get that third star on their shirts. Ball is with Otamendi at the back. You might have thought that his days in the big time were finished when he left Manchester City, 34 years old now, but as I said, Benfica doing great things, and here he is on the verge of winning a World Cup. France coming forward. We've had almost 4 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, and it's Varane in the orange boots who looks forward but goes square. They look bereft, France. They look short on ideas. Thuram tries to dance in field, but they're there again, those ferocious Argentines. 2 men on him, in dives Molina with a challenge, gets a bit of the ball, got a bit of the man as well, he won't worry about that. And then France take the throw in back to Upamecano and across to Varane in the centre circle, who plays it across to Koundé. Koundé looks up. Griezmann's another one. We talked about him before the game, maybe the player of the World Cup. He's not featured in the final now.
Anonymous, and that's France's performance in total. It's been anonymous and just bereft of ideas, and really they're making it up as they go along now. The shape's gone, the team's gone, the pattern of play's gone. They're just looking at someone saying, please turn up.
Argentina are leading France by 2-0. And the ball's out of play for a throw-in on the far side. And again, what a scene we have here in this stadium. And I know so much has been said and written about the construction of these stadiums, but in terms of a visual sight as you look around it, with all of the gold lettering and gold trimming, and the way that it undulates around the top, those curving lines, and the roof above our heads, it is a fitting scene for a World Cup final, as the throw-in is taken over on the far side by Argentina. It's cleared away on the edge of the box by Upamecano. Comes back for Argentina. Griezmann slides in against Di Maria and is able to get the ball away, and then Koundé puts in the challenge, and that comes off the Frenchman, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Argentina down the left-hand side in the 6th minute of added time at the end of the first half. Messi just knocks it back centrally and all the way back now into the centre circle, where Christian Romero looks up, finds the pass to Di Maria. No, it's over his head and out of play for a throw-in. to France, 10 yards inside their own half.
But that's their outball. They've always got that, and they play with the comfort of knowing that.
Colomwani now is able to dart forward. In come the Argentinians. One of them got a touch on him. It's given as a free kick.
Here we go.
And an Argentine player has dropped to the ground on the far side. I mean, it was played past him by Colomwani, and Fernandez has gone down. And it was played past him, whether there was contact there as Colomwani was trying to wriggle away through. Shows an awful lot on that. He went down, Colomwani won the free kick, and then Fernandez went down, and he's not got up yet. And referee Marciniak has not allowed the physios onto the field, although I think as he does that, it's a yellow card for him, for Fernandez, for putting in the challenge.
It should have been Otamendi who was booked. I thought he was the one who made the challenge, but then Fernandez, embarrassing from him. I think he was claiming he was struck by Muani. He's up on his feet now, but that's shocking from him.
Free kick then. Well, this is a chance for France to try and pull something out of the fire. Griezmann plays it in all the way towards the back post, but Varane couldn't get there. It was well beyond him, and it's all the way through for a goal kick. Of course, in this sort of position now, there is no Olivier Giroud having been substituted. Didier Deschamps feeling that he had to make that double change in the 41st minute, just because of the way that the whole thing was running away from the holders. Dembele and Giroud off, the half-time whistle goes. What a half of World Cup final football for Argentina, who are actually surrounding the referee. Martinez, the goalkeeper, has gone there, and his teammates have ushered him away, and actually the referee says to him, just go on, off you go to the dressing room. And it will be an extremely satisfied Argentina dressing room at half-time. They lead through the Lionel Messi penalty, and that goal from Angel Di Maria, the blistering counter-attack. And it really, you think, can there possibly be a way back for France?
The only hope that you're looking at now is that Didier Deschamps turned around and was like, we can't play any worse. Just go for it. One goal, we saw what happened against the Netherlands with Argentina. With this backing, it might get nervous, but they've just looked so comfortable, and France have looked so short of ideas. It's been a walk in the park for them.
Thank you, Rob Green. Thank you, Chris Sutton. Half-time here in Lusail. Argentina 2, France 0.
Thank you, Mark. About to get underway. Another side has made a change at the start then of this second half, where Argentina are leading by 2 goals to 0. And if you recall, when they played the Netherlands in the quarter-finals, that was the first time that Argentina, when they were 2 up and they were pegged back by the Dutch, that was the first time in World Cup history that they'd failed to win. So that gives you the size and the task that faces France here in Lusail. Although, of course, the success to the Dutch was to bring on the big man in Wout Weghorst, and France have taken off their big man in Olivier Giroud with a couple of changes that they made in the first half. But Argentina well worth a 2-0 lead as Alvarez picks up the ball and runs forward from Messi's pass. He goes out towards De Paul, just outside the penalty area, back towards Alvarez, right corner of the box. Now he goes into a central area, played forward by Fernandez. McAllister was almost there, and Hugo Lloris diving forward, all in yellow. Haven't even had a chance to give you the 2 teams. Emi Martinez is in goal for Argentina. Molina, Romero, Otamendi, Tagliafico, McAllister, Fernandez, De Paul and Di Maria, Alvarez and Messi. And France have Lloris in goal, Koundé, Upamecano, Varane, Teo Hernandez, Griezmann, Tchouaméni, Rabiot, Mbappé, Thuram and Colomwani. Chris Sutton.
Well, I would have thought at half-time Didier Deschamps would have read the French team the riot act and talked about starting fast, and Koundé switched off there, and McAllister nearly got on the end of a Fernandez pass from the central area.
Also, with Giroud's departure, it means that the record of Niels Lidholm of Sweden remains intact to become the oldest ever goal scorer in a World Cup final. As Tchouaméni back with Varane, but they've got it all to do, France, and they've got to they've got to really put in a vastly improved display in this second period, Rob Green.
Yeah, we can talk about tactics, we can talk about whatever you want, but they sleepwalked through that first half to a 2-0 deficit. They've just got to wake up, they've got to liven up, they've got to ask a different question, and Mbappe's now demanding it off his players, shouting at his teammates. He's got to get on the ball and get in the game.
Here is Varane to Upamecano. The noise levels haven't changed. We're still surrounded by joyous Argentinians, as a lot of the corporate seats are still yet to be filled over on that far side. But Argentina leading by 2 goals to 0. And the second goal as well was just a goal of pure beauty. McAllister to Messi, who just tickled it round the corner to Alvarez. McAllister had continued his run, breaking through, and then unselfishly spread the ball to Di Maria. It was a stunning second goal from Argentina. And early in the second half, here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds, or indeed taking up the option that Mark Chapman had said to watch on BBC One and listen to the 5 Live commentary, that is also available to you through World Cup Extra on the iPlayer. But Argentina, in their white and sky blue striped shirts and white shorts, are playing from right to left, and we're 4 minutes into the second half. It's a direct throw, and now it falls to the feet of around the edge of the area, back towards Lloris, clears it away all in yellow. Tagliafico will get there first before Colomouani, who tries to get some support from Koundé, battling for every loose ball, but it's Koundé who brings it away and goes inside, but stepping forward was Romero. Excellent defending there towards Messi, and now towards Di Maria, left corner of the area. Di Maria crosses it down into the ground, was De Paul right-footed, saved by Lloris. The next goal's crucial in this game.
Oh, absolutely. If Argentina get it, it's absolutely game over, isn't it? What a spot from Di Maria to De Paul, 16 yards out of the angle, choked his volley into the floor.
Mbappe picks it up, glides forward, helped out by Griezmann. But the desire levels from Argentina, you can see they do not want to give France a sniff of getting back into this game.
No, they must have just heard you, don't know, that next goal being so important. But I'd love to see, as Statman Dave calls them, ground jewels, where they are on the pitch, because majority, nearly all, are in the France half. They're on the front foot, they're stepping forward into the opponent's half, whether they've got the ball or not. It's been so aggressive with and without the ball.
At the Khalifa International Stadium yesterday for the third place playoff, there was a number of players both from Croatia and Morocco that were going down in the end with muscle injuries, just the fatigue factor at the end of what has been a really intense 29-day period. And when you think that Messi was feeling his hamstring in the semi-final, he's still charging around here. No one was going to want to come off this field for the Argentinian cause.
Can you believe we've just had a foul throw from Rabiot, World Cup final? A little bit embarrassing, isn't it?
What you're going to say is better than that.
Yes.
Here is Tagliafico, left-hand side, forward, looking towards McAllister. There is McAllister. What a fine game he's had for Brighton and Hove Albion. For Argentina, the Brighton and Hove Albion midfielder is Mbappe now. But there is Fernandes running back, tracking in every move. The last touch came off Fernandes. He's on a yellow card. Words are just being said there between Romero and Mbappe. The Polish referee is quickly on hand on that. The diplomatic incident might have to be... We might have to go back for a second round of talks, because the French commentators decided to stand up once again as Griezmann with the corner kick on this near side. Griezmann, it's an in-swinger. Good hands from Emi Martinez, Rob.
Beautiful ball for a keeper to take into the path. Nice height, above everyone's head, nice and clear, and he can set the ball away straight away. Argentina on the attack.
Argentina with Messi. Plays the ball out towards De Paul. De Paul can't get past the sliding challenge of Theo Hernandez. And it will be... Is it a corner or a throw? Over on that far side, in front of the mass hordes of Argentinian support. They're not sitting down. They're standing up, they're cheering, they're jumping and waving anything that is white or sky blue. It's a throw down by the corner flag. Molina is going to take it. 7 minutes into the second half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds here, and now indeed they do get a corner kick.
They've been so superior.
To Paul, he's had a tremendous game so far. He's all action, isn't he? Combative. He's narrow off that right-hand side, I think, there to nullify the threat of Mbappe in that first half, playing off the left, but Mbappe barely saw the ball. Argentina at the start of this second half, or 7-8 minutes in, still the dominant team.
Corner kick then that Messi is going to take in front of his adoring supporters in all areas of the stadium here in Lusail. He moves a little soundbite in preparation to take the corner kick, far side to right, wraps it in low, headed out by Griezmann at that near post, and Messi is ambling to take the throw. They are in no hurry, and in fact he's just going to leave it for somebody else to take. They've got all the time in the world to soak up the atmosphere, and soaking a scoreline means they're heading for what would be a third World Cup triumph and their first since 1986. The throw is eventually taken. Alvarez tries to lay the ball back, cleared away by the French defence, picked up though by Otamendi. Passes the ball back out towards De Paul. And De Paul to Emi Martinez. Oh, he sliced it, come right out of his penalty area. He's now screaming at De Paul. He was midway through his own half and it was a complete miss kick, but France were unable to take advantage. Upamecano now in the centre circle. Rabiot takes over. Tchouaméni lays it off to Upamecano. Mbappe's deep and he wants the ball to beat, and here he is. 9 minutes into the second half, closed down by Messi. Breaks towards Tchouaméni. Out towards that far side to left. Theo Hernandez. Back to Tchouaméni, looking for the return ball, cut out by De Paul. That's probably one of the first mistakes, as De Paul was caught by Rabiot, and the Polish referee Marciniak is going for a yellow, and the French midfielder is booked.
Moment of fortune for Martinez in goal. He came a long way. It was just a collision in front of him that took his eye off the ball and he sliced it. But when you're 2-0 up, those are the things that go for you. 2-0 down, they go against you.
It's lucky Enzo Fernandez was loitering in the right area. Fernandez, to think he didn't start the first 2 games in this competition. Scaloni got him into the team, and he's playing in that sort of quarterback position as De Paul has stayed down. Really reckless challenge from Rabiot. Don't want to lose him, De Paul.
Well, he had been carrying a bit of a knock. I think it was going into the Netherlands game in the quarter-finals, the Atletico Madrid player. But Enzo Fernandez has been linked with Liverpool, as you say, started the last 4 games, has appeared in every game at this tournament, the 21-year-old midfielder, but has really become a key player in that midfield for Argentina, with De Paul and McAllister, and then Di Maria, who's going to retire from the international stage after the World Cup. Scored the winning goal against Brazil in the Copa America, and it's his goal that gives Argentina a cushion. A World Cup, incidentally, that has never been won by winners of the Copa America. That could all change here tonight in Lusail. BBC Radio 5 Live. Argentina with those first half goals are 2-0 up. De Paul is fit to continue, as there is a challenge from Tagliafico on Colomouani. He's back to his feet, but they're looking for a spark, and at the minute that spark is not forthcoming.
Well, you look at Argentina, you say we don't have to do anything spectacular at all. We just need to sit tight and not make any mistakes, because, as you say, Donna, they're absolutely void of any form of life, any form of cohesion on the ball, and any form of pressure off it.
It's been the French misconnection. Here is Koundé. Coming forward on this near side, the right. Di Maria goes to ground and slides. Koundé tries to deliver the cross. Closed down though by McAllister. Di Maria keeps the ball in play. Koulibaly now for France. Tries to get round the back. Strong challenge that was by Tagliafico. There was no way that he was getting past the left back. And France have got a throw that Koundé wants to take as we approach the hour mark here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Rabiot with his back to goal. Varane being chased and hustled by Alvarez, and Varane was unable to turn and had to go all the way back towards Hugo Lloris, all in yellow, away towards our left-hand side. Mbappe picks it up. It was 3 white and sky blue striped shirts around Mbappe. Messi's now gone down. That was, I think, Mbappe, his Paris Saint-Germain teammate, and Marciniak, the referee, will just wander to have a word.
But that's the difference, the urgency, the Argentinian players compared to the French players. You mentioned Mbappe. As soon as he gets on the ball, he's surrounded, and it was Messi who eventually pinched the ball off him.
You're looking at France and how they're attacking, and they're doing it as individuals. They're just going, oh, I'll make a run down it. It was Koundé a second ago going down the right. He's just running with the ball on his own. There's no options there to pass. There's no connections between anyone.
Chris Sutton and Rob Green here with our 5 Live coverage. Di Maria to Alvarez, takes it into his stride. Alvarez gets the shot away, and it was a strong arm by Hugo Lloris, low down to his near post. Didn't he do well, Alvarez?
Yeah, darting run from right to left. The angle always against him, running away from goal. 10 yards out. Hits a left-footed shot. Lloris down smartly.
Messi's on course for the Golden Boot. He may well yet win the Golden Ball, but Argentina are just over half an hour away of getting the Golden Trophy, the one that matters most to him, to add to his extremely long list of staggering achievements in his illustrious career. And when John earlier said there was just so many records with Messi, the all-time record appearance holder at World Cups with this tonight, his 26th. He's also the first player to score in the group stages, the round of 16, a quarter-final, a semi-final and a final in a single World Cup. Argentina 2-0 up. Rob Green.
Just looking at what France can do to change this. We're 15 minutes into the second half, and again, still not had a shot. Looking at the bench, Kingsley Coman, maybe. On that, there's not a lot.
Here's Di Maria, twisting, weaving, left-hand side, twists once more, enters the penalty area, left-hand side, it runs through. This is Messi, and he's just put it wide. Right-footed. It was closed down by 2 French defenders. It was a lovely little dummy that enabled it to run through towards Messi. That could have been the goal to seal it.
Oh, they're playing with such swagger, such confidence. Di Maria down that left-hand side, a couple of step-overs, twisting, turning, comes back out, feeds the ball across to Paul, lets the ball run to Messi, and Rabiot does just about enough lunges, puts Messi off with the shot.
Varane heads the ball forward and will actually get a free kick. He was adjudged to have been fouled by Alvarez, the Manchester City player. Varane has actually stayed down 10 yards inside his own half as they continue to trail with no real pressure on the Emi Martinez goal away towards our right-hand side. However, when Argentina led 2-0 against Australia caused a few late nerves. We know what the Dutch did when they scrambled and salvaged it from 2-0 down to 2-2 in the quarter-final. France may have to resort to similar tactics.
Well, as you touched on at the start of the second half, they've taken off the big man and go direct, ask the question of Romero and Otamendi. They can't. They just cannot throw a punch. They cannot ask a question at the minute. And there's very little to come off the bench now for France, now that they've made the 2 attacking subs.
But talked about they don't have an identity, France, but really got any fire in the belly. Where's the French fire, Deno?
Well, at the moment, it hasn't even been lit as Rabiot comes forward. And now it's an opportunity for Thuram. To Griezmann. Out to Mbappe. Mbappe left-hand side with the cross. Headed away.
It was a little bit better, wasn't it? As the cross came in, Thuram in that centre-forward position on his heels. Needs to make movement.
Marcus Thuram, his father Lilian, first father and son combination to play in a World Cup final. But unlike Lilian, Marcus will not go to home as a World Cup winner, it would seem. Alvarez, forward ball, McAllister was getting there now. Upamecano had tracked the run of McAllister, and there was lent into him, preventing him from getting the shot away.
It wasn't quite the same, but that was a little bit like the Hernandez one on Mason Mount, wasn't it? Was it not as forceful a challenge from Upamecano on McAllister? Another bursting run, this time in a central area, but it's a risk.
It was a risk, but the fact that play is already underway means that VAR would have had a look and they quickly dismissed it. 63 minutes play. Argentina still lead, 2-0. Rabiot, Tchouaméni, midway through the Argentina half. Diagonal ball, Koundé now is forward, takes it almost underneath his chin, high up on the chest, doesn't keep the ball in play. No, he doesn't. The assistant referee eventually flags it will be a goal kick. It was a risk, but I guess he had to take that risk, Rob.
Well, it's not enough of the contact on the back. It's more on the ribs, on the shoulder. But I think the deciding factor was Lloris was always going to get there first, and when he did so, then it answered the question for the referee.
Angel Di Maria is leaving the stage, and what a career it has been for Argentina. He'll retire after the World Cup. 129 appearances and 28 goals. And as we said earlier, a winning goal against Brazil in the Copa America. Just his third in his 18th appearance in World Cup finals. But it's his goal that gives Argentina a 2-0 lead. And he is replaced by Acuna. That is certainly a measure just to shore up the left-hand side for Argentina. But the gamble to play Di Maria, Rob Green in the first place from Lionel Scaloni has certainly paid off.
Yeah, brilliant decision.
Here is McAllister to Acuna, back with Messi once again. Messi drops his shoulder towards McAllister. The return ball, Messi's got to go the long way around. Back towards Lloris, clears it, and then Tagliafico heads it forward. And then two Argentinian players close down Koundé. Goal kick to France.
Well, that sums it up. That's that in the game there. Argentina linking up around the box. It doesn't work out, but the rebound, the ball out, they are on it. They are harassing, they're haranguing in and around the French penalty area. France have not been able to do that anywhere on the pitch all game.
Hugo Lloris to take the goal kick. Those Argentinian supporters behind his goal haven't stopped singing since the moment they entered this stadium. The stadium where the attendance will be read out as 88,966. And they're also in a comfortable position, knowing their side are almost 3/4 of the way there, still leading by 2-0. Tired clearance by Molina. Out it goes for a France throw. France at the minute though just do not look like scoring. Rabiot. Out to Griezmann. Griezmann delivers the cross, and it was a dangerous ball too from that left-hand side. Kept in play by Koulibaly on this near side to right. Koundé gives it away. Koulibaly wins it back. Challenges Tagliafico. Referee says he got the ball, and then it's dug out by McAllister. That really was a wicked ball, Chris Sutton.
Brilliant from Griezmann. Out on that left-hand touchline. Whips the ball in left-footed. Thuram and Mourani on the heels, didn't gamble, weren't proactive. The ball is cross at 6-yard box. No takers for France.
I think Giroud would have been there.
Absolutely. Well, we'll never know.
Griezmann back out towards the left-hand side, another dangerous cross, and it's put out of play by Otamendi for a corner kick. France have that corner on the left-hand side, which Griezmann is going to take. Argentina. Hasn't been too many occasions where those French tricolours have been waving tonight, but they are now. In comes the corner, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. We're midway through the second half. Don't go anywhere, just to savour the atmosphere, even if there are no more goals. It's Argentina 2, France 0, live on 5 Live, and here's our correspondent John Murray.
Thanks, Ian. We might hear from you again if there's extra time, but I doubt it. And France are going to make another double change. If you weren't listening earlier, Didier Deschamps, so serious was the situation for his team. He made a double change in the 41st minute, and now he's going to bring on young Camavinga, the Real Madrid midfielder, or left back as he's been for France here. And also Kingsley Coman is coming on, as Chris suggested he might do, although Coman has been one of the players who was named as struggling with this virus that's been in the French squad this week. So it is Argentina 2, France 0. And we have less than a quarter of this World Cup final here in Qatar to go. And here is Messi. Messi playing it back into his own half. And the two Frenchmen are limbering up on the halfway line. I noticed as well that the referee has actually told the Argentine substitutes who are on the bench to calm down. Good luck with that, as France win a free kick 10 yards inside the Argentine half. They were going to make a change there, but they've taken a quick free kick. Everything is so urgent now for France. Theo Hernandez with a cross from the left-hand side, but cleared away by Romero. Unflappable clearance from the Tottenham defender, and Alvarez is dispossessed on the halfway line. France have improved in the second half, but they had to. And now Thuram down the left. Marcus Thuram into the full-back position. Molina puts in the challenge. In comes support as well from De Paul, and the ball's caught up as he goes to ground. And Theo Hernandez was in there, but Argentina have come out with it, and De Paul races forward, but the defender is there to play it all the way back to goalkeeper Lloris. This is 5 Live. We have Rob Green and Chris Sutton with us here in the commentary position in the stadium. Rob.
Yeah, just Argentina levels have dropped, and it's understandable. They've been going for 70 minutes now and put everything on the line. And eventually France have managed to string some passes together, get some bodies forward and get them up together in numbers.
Griezmann trying to find spaces, that he was so quiet in the first half, but Argentina were just dominant. And they lead through those two first half goals, the Messi penalty and the goal on the counter-attack from Di Maria. France could still be interesting. Mbappe does so well and shoots right-footed from just inside the box. A dancing run from Mbappe. We've seen so little of that, but the shot was high over the top of the crossbar, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, alarm bells for Argentina. The first time Mbappe off that left-hand side moved out there in this second half, drove on the inside, got on that devastating right foot of his, but just off balance and scooped his shot from 18 yards over the bar.
And that's it for Griezmann. Griezmann's been substituted. So Giroud and Dembele off in the first half, Griezmann off in the second, and Theo Hernandez also makes way. So Camavinga has gone across to play at left back again.
He is not a left back. He is an excellent centre midfielder, a real prospect, but for a man who's had such a fantastic tournament, it's been such a difficult performance tonight, starved of any form of ball, any form of support for Griezmann.
Argentina coming forward, so Coman and Camavinga are on. I suspect in 4 years' time, when we're watching the World Cup, all being well, that Camavinga will be operating in the middle of the French midfield. Here's Messi on the left-hand side. Messi, little steps, still going, turns away from Koundé, gives it back, Fernandez, right foot shot, but too close to Lloris, who was able to quickly step to his left and pat the ball down.
Yeah, I saw him. I was in the stadium. He scored an absolute stonker against Mexico. Bent it into the far top corner from a more central position there, but maybe just got the ball stuck under his right foot a little bit, trying to aim for that far corner, but ended up just clipping it straight at Lloris, who was central.
So what are France doing now then with those changes? Coman is on the right, Rob, and then Thuram has taken up a forward position to the right of Mbappe, and then Kolo Muani's gone over to the left-hand side.
Basic 4-2-4. Get as many players forward as you can and hope that something comes off, because that's all it's been so far is hopeful.
Well, at 2-0, and it's been so comfortable for Argentina, and they've threatened quite regularly to get a third goal in the second half, but it is still 2-0, and we've got just over 15 minutes to play. France get a goal.
Well, Martinez hasn't got his shirt dirty yet. He hasn't had to make a save in any form.
So I've made 2 notes, Rob, for France. The header that Giroud put over early on in the match, which was actually given as a foul against him, which I didn't think was the right decision. And then that Mbappe run in from the left and the shot over the top. That's it. France with Upamecano. Carries the ball forward, takes it on, but then in steps Romero, and Argentina, as France tried to press forward, and he's been fouled actually, Romero, as the challenge came in on him from Kolo Muani, I think it is, and it's a free kick to Argentina, and sensing Argentina, the fact that France are setting themselves for a bit of an offensive here. Argentina very clever here, just to break things up, slow things down, and slow the game down.
No rush, see it through. I was toddling up, John, because I'm a little bit of an anorak at times, and I've been lonely this week without Ali Bruce Ball. Toddling up shots on the Argentinian goal in this tournament. Only 8 shots on their goal. Martinez has been well protected. There was just that period, wasn't there, in the game against the Netherlands, where the Netherlands played a brutal brand of football, went very direct, put De Jong on and Weghorst on, where they really struggled defensively. Other than that, Martinez has been protected superbly.
Free kick, Martinez to take this downfield. 5 Live from the BBC. Argentina 2, France 0. France come back with it, and here is Mbappe down the left-hand side, trying to use that pace that we know so well. But across comes Romero and just takes the ball off his toe, and Argentina can bring the ball forward with De Paul. And now here's one for Alvarez to chase, and Alvarez is onto this. Defender is there with him, Upamecano. He's forced him out into the full-back position. I thought for a moment there he was going to be past him, but Upamecano did well actually and recovered and was able to snuff out that danger.
Yeah, really good defending in the end, but Alvarez was on his own, so even if he had got there first and got clear, it was a tight angle and very, very difficult to make something of it from there.
As Varane passes the ball out of play, and French heads go down again. By the way, if you are, like Chris, missing Ali, you'll be able to hear him again very soon, because with this World Cup, this Christmas World Cup, in the middle of the season, if you've been listening to us through the World Cup and have come back to us perhaps, or listened to us for the first time, this is what we do all the time, this sort of thing. So we will have Premier League commentaries coming your way more than anyone else. The FA Cup third round in the new year, the Champions League in February and March, it's all covered here. And Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Carabao Cup fourth round commentary. So that's the day after tomorrow. MK Dons against Leicester. And actually I noticed Brighton are playing Charlton on Wednesday. Do you think Alexis McAllister is going to be involved in that one?
No better time to play than off a high of winning the World Cup.
As you footballers always tell us, footballers like to play. Here Argentina playing it forward towards Messi. Messi flicks it on towards De Paul. De Paul now on the right hand side, but in comes the challenge. There's an effects microphone over there, and De Paul goes down, blood-curdling cry. Camavinga put in the challenge, and the free kick goes Argentina's way. What were you spotting down there, Rob, on this near side?
Against Coman, struggling, limping around, had a discussion with the management team of France, and he's pretty much their last attacking threat that they've had to bring on off the bench.
He's actually got a flick of Alvarez's boot on his knee. And he's leaning over, he's struggling with it. France have already made 4 substitutions. 2-0 Argentina lead. That World Cup is getting closer. De Paul, despite the blood-curdling cry, he's okay, he's back on his feet. And now it's played by Fernandes to Messi on the right-hand side. Now to De Paul inside the box, goes past Upamecano, but the cross, low to the near post, is swallowed up by the man in yellow, the Tottenham goalkeeper, the French captain, who it would seem is not going to captain 2 consecutive World Cup winning teams, Hugo Lloris. Here's McAllister, not thinking about Charlton. Fernandes plays it out to the right-hand side, and Argentina have it back inside their own half. It's steered by Fernandes out to the right-hand side, and the noise from these Argentina supporters is incessant. They've stood all the way. I mean, there are Argentina fans all around the stadium. I must say, by the way, in some of the expensive seats on the far side, I'm not sure people have actually come back since half-time. It's a lot more full than it was now. But for the World Cup final, you know, not to occupy your seats is sinful, really. But Argentina with the ball on the right. Camavinga plays it up towards Mbappe, who flicks it forward. But Otamendi is going to get there. Actually, no, he's not. He's been beaten to it. And Otamendi puts in the challenge. And it's a penalty. Awkward defending from Otamendi. And France have taken advantage. Colomboani forced his way into the box, felt the contact, went down, and referee Marcignac points to the penalty spot. Penalty France, lifeline France.
I've got to say, I think it's a soft penalty, but Otamendi just hesitates, allows the ball to bounce. Muani, too strong, too quick, too powerful, gets the other side of him. There's minimal contact. Muani goes down, and from nowhere really, just looking at the French body language a few moments ago, they didn't believe, but what an opportunity this is for France.
We're in the 79th minute. 2-0 to Argentina. But Kylian Mbappe, this is the first penalty France have had at this World Cup, and it's Kylian Mbappe to take it. A run up from just to the left behind the ball. Up he comes, right-footed, and he scores! Martinez went the right way. Martinez, the brilliant penalty saver. A huge leap from him, but Mbappe's penalty was too good. It's found the bottom corner, and France have a chance. It's Argentina 2, France 1. And like Messi, Mbappe scores from the penalty spot in the final, and they both have 6 goals at this World Cup.
Yeah, it's a terrific penalty. Martinez gets fingertips to it, goes the right way, but the power and the accuracy on the penalty was enough. And France do have a lifeline. France have some hope, really, from absolutely nowhere. Martinez unlucky there, Rob.
Well, if you do that slow pause, step, run up, then the chances are you're going to go to the goalkeeper's right if you're right-footed, because you've got to gain the power in it. For Mbappe, he got enough power in it, and it was a really good penalty. Macron was up, the France fans are up, and for the first time, the Argentina fans, the tens of thousands of them, have sat down.
Well, this is the classic situation, isn't it? World Cup final, but we've been down this road in football matches. You know, listeners will have been down this road. A comfortable lead, a 2-0 lead. You've been much the better team, and then in the latter stages, the opponents get one. What will happen next? And now Mbappe has the chance to score! Which he does! Brilliant finish from the angle! Right-footed across Martinez, who got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. It found the bottom corner, and it's Mbappe to the rescue from France. It's 2-2.
From nowhere, where has this come from? Mbappe has barely had a kick, and it was Messi who was robbed of the ball, I think, from Coman. They worked the ball into a central position. it's a bit of a give and go. The ball's fed to Rabiot, opens his body up, feeds it to Mbappe, who heads the ball down. I think it's to Thuram, who then lifts the ball over to Mbappe. It's a brilliant finish on the volley. Body shape superb from Mbappe, and he hammers a right foot. A right-footed shot into the far corner, past Martinez. Nobody saw this coming.
It's a wonder goal. It's a wonder goal from Mbappe, and it's brought the game to life. The last 2 minutes have brought this game to life. They were cruising. Every single one of France subs has to be booked because they all sprinted across the pitch to celebrate with Mbappe.
Well, referee Marciniak ticked off the Argentina bench. He can't go and book all of the French substitutes. They're all gathering themselves. Didier Deschamps' reaction was incredible. Well, what a World Cup finals this has turned out to be. 2-2, an extra time beckoning. And what did we say about Argentina against the Netherlands? But we couldn't see it happening in this game. But it just has.
We said do something different, and there was nothing different about it but the softest of soft penalties. And all of a sudden, the dynamic changed, the belief changed in both teams.
Within 90 seconds or so between the two goals, the Mbappe penalty and then his 7th at this World Cup. Mbappe now leads the standings, and Kylian Mbappe has certainly stepped into this World Cup. But here's Acuna on the left hand side for Argentina, and Fernandes shoots, and that's blocked by Upamecano on the edge of the box. And it looks like Argentina, if they're going to win it, if they're going to take this World Cup back to Buenos Aires, they're going to have to win this World Cup final all over again. And actually now the holders have got their tails up. All of the changes that Didier Deschamps made, I mean, it improved France, but we did not see that coming.
Well, they're all over the place now tactically. The shape's completely gone. They've thrown everything to the wind, but Mbappe's tail is up.
He's on a hat-trick. But at the moment the ball is being carried forward through the middle, and it's given out to Mbappe on the left-hand side, who crosses to the back post, but it's just over the top of Kolo Muani, and behind for a goal kick to Argentina.
Well, what an incredible match this is. How France are back in this, I really don't know. You think about the Otamendi hesitation though to allow the ball to bounce, Muani to get the other side, and then Messi, who's been brilliant all evening, hasn't he, giving the ball away, robbed of the ball. But it's moments, isn't it? It's been a World Cup of moments, magic moments, and Mbappe's finish was absolutely stunning.
France win a free kick inside their own half. It looked as though France were meekly heading to defeat. We were talking about the virus that's bothered them all week. Didier Deschamps made his changes, and it looks as though Didier Deschamps' changes might just have come up trumps, Chris.
Yeah, the last time I saw Didier Deschamps as excited as that, John,
was when he turned over the King of Hearts in a West London hotel room.
There you go.
And you couldn't believe your luck. And you said, Didier, you're better than that. Argentina 2, France 2. And he raised an eyebrow, and he took the spoils. And he might just do it again.
He may have been thinking of me in that moment.
Maybe he was, Chris. Well, Koundé now on the right-hand side, and it's Alain Le Bleu inside the Lusail Stadium here, and that's a foul by McAllister. Suddenly Argentina are on the back foot. France win a free kick. There's no Griezmann on the field now, though, in terms of the set pieces.
There's two balls on the pitch and no one's noticed. That's how wild this game is at the moment. It's all instinctive from France. They're just doing it on the hoof and just going for it, and it's coming off. It's all of a sudden a threat from everywhere.
Well, when they did win that World Cup last time, it was 3-2. Free kick is taken by France. Koundé and Mbappe together. It bounces to the edge of the Argentina box, then headed forward by Kolo Muani. Oh, that could be a penalty. No, it's given us a free kick the other way. It's given us a free kick to Argentina, and a yellow card is shown to Rabiot. Well, I mean, the referee Marciniak was waving that card around. It might have been Thuram. Yeah, Thuram it was, who I guess has been yellow carded for throwing himself down.
Yep, well, the referee seemed pretty sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think he's on his way down there. Thuram, is he caught? No, he's better than that.
Trace, 6:06 tonight.
Oh yeah,
you don't need to worry about the simulation game there. Marcus Thuram's got that wrapped up.
Oh, I tell you what though, what a moment. I think we initially thought he was caught, but watching it back, good decision from the referee. The referee held his nerve.
Well done, referee Marciniak. Very good decision, very good spot. The first Polish man to referee a World Cup final, and he's got a big tick in the book for that one. And then there's been a clash of heads now on the far side, and it's a stoppage in play. And we will have a significant amount of time added on at the end of this match, which almost goes without saying at this World Cup. It was Rabiot and Alvarez who have come together, so we'll have a stoppage now. But what a 15 minutes that was.
It's an incredible couple of moments, and I just feel as Chris touched on, the first penalty, the Di Maria penalty, was so soft that it kind of set Marciniak, the referee, up to have to give that one because there was contact, because he was the wrong side. We're talking the Premier League about a higher bar being in the penalty area. It's not the case for either of those, but there's no arguing about that second Mbappe goal.
Wow, Kylian Mbappe has very much come to the party, and here he is walking across now, and he's telling the French families actually behind the dugout to raise themselves and give it some noise against all of these Argentines. And those 2 goals that he scored, Mbappe, so 7 goals at this World Cup, but that for him now, that's 11 goals at World Cup, so he's become the youngest to score 10 goals or more in World Cup tournaments, and he's also become the youngest man to score in 2 World Cup finals. Scored in Moscow in the 4-2 win against Croatia 4 years ago, and 2 goals in this World Cup final.
And that was his 2 goals in Kazan in the cooking pot, which did for Argentina with the last World Cup.
So
just looking at Mbappe there, what's going on there?
There's a little bit of something going on with Romero and Fernandez, but that's calmed down for the time being. Oh, that's a bit of a challenge by Romero, isn't it, on Thuram on the edge of the box, and that's a free kick. That is a free kick to France. 2 or 3 paces outside the penalty area.
But he awarded a free kick.
But he's not, he's changed his mind. Throw-in is taken. Ball comes into the Argentina penalty area, and that's headed away by Otamendi. Comes back for France. Mbappe swings it high across the penalty area. Coleman, well, he was limping. He looked as though he might not be able to continue. That's when it was 2-0. But things have changed since then, and Coleman continues, and we've got 8 minutes of added time. So could be extra time in the World Cup final. 2-2. Argentina were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to play, and France and Mbappe have changed all that, and Coleman now in the challenge with McAllister. Ball bounces away. Upamecano forward. A flick through the middle, Mbappe gives it back to Thuram, but Mbappe had come back from an offside position, and it is a free kick to Argentina.
Put every ball into the Argentina box now, your heart's in your mouth. You just think they're at 6s and 7s. The game's slowed down, but the jeopardy is at a knife edge now.
I don't know what jammy in French is, but they've been so ugly in this game, haven't they? And all of a sudden they look like the more likely team to go on and win this.
Argentina with it on the left-hand side. Acuna through for Alvarez, but he can't reach that. He's overhit, and it was through for a goal kick. I think it might be Vinal, if I remember rightly from my lessons at school. Jammy, lucky in French. Très Vinal.
You are Vinal, that George is alongside you with his phone and
What?
Google.
How dare you? What an accusation. Goal kick. Loris takes this downfield. And the substitute I mean, Thuram, Colomani have caused real problems, and that's what they're doing again. And Argentina are rattled. Argentina are worried here that this could turn completely around against them. Foul by Romero.
Well, two up top, straight ball, winning the first header. The Argentinians couldn't cope against the Netherlands, who stopped doing in extra time what they were effective at, but can the French nick one?
Well, it is a free kick. Mbappe has gone across there to take it, so no Griezmann on the pitch anymore, so Mbappe has taken up this role. So he's setting himself. It's way out on the left-hand side. We are in added time. We're in the 3rd minute of added time. It's 2-2. Mbappe in the golden boots. Plays it in, but it's headed away on the edge of the area for Argentina. And then Alvarez with a touch and forward from Acuna. And fire deflection that's out of play. And Didier Deschamps with that little piece of control in his shiny black shoes demonstrates that he was a little more than a water carrier. And it's a throw-in to Argentina inside their own half. It's going to be a very interesting discussion with Mark Chapman and Kelly Cates once the added time is up as to who would be the favourites going into extra time with the way that France have come back. And Argentina wanted a free kick for a challenge on the ball, but Mbappe is off and run and he shoots. And he gets underneath that. It took a deflection as well, which carried it higher and wider and behind, and it's a corner.
And now he's playing a different game to everybody else on the field. Just that little burst over a couple of yards gets him away from Fernandez. It opens up, but it's Otamendi who gets out and deflects the shot over the bar.
And the way that Kylian Mbappe has come to life in this World Cup final, Argentina are sitting uneasily. Here's the corner. Martinez comes and gets a punch, the Argentine goalkeeper. Tchouameni takes that down. Camavinga now back out to the left-hand side from where the corner came. And Coleman goes round the outside. He's still going and he's upended just outside the box. Play continues. Camavinga with a shot. And then it's saved by Martinez. Camavinga cut it back. Rabiot hit the shot, but it was close enough to Martinez to go down. And even though he parried it and lost it, he was able to gather it at the second attempt when it bounced off the defender.
Yeah, good save, big save. Very difficult through bodies in and around him there. It's the first save he's made in the game. Such is the way, the shape that it's gone.
Argentina come forward and win a throw-in halfway inside the French half. All sorts of carry-on and activity going down on the French bench. All of the substitutes are on their feet, and actually referee Marciniak has got his card out and he's running over here to this side of the field, and he is saying to someone on the French bench, I want you to come forward now. And he shows him the yellow card. It's Giroud. It's Olivier Giroud who was called forward. Let's take you back to your school days, Rob, there. That was very much you come here. Made him walk to the edge of the pitch, showed him the yellow card.
I was always at the front of the class anyway, didn't need to walk anywhere.
Argentina 2, France 2, deep in added time. A goal now, and whoever scores it will win the World Cup. And now it is France coming forward, and Mbappe plays it through the middle, and in comes the challenge on Colomani, and it bounces back to Mbappe in the box on the left hand side. Ball rattling around, they can't get it clear. Colomani goes down in the area, and the referee says no penalty, but last ditch, heart in mouth defending from Argentina there, Chris.
Oh, it was. They somehow scrambled the ball to safety. It looked like on a couple of occasions Luani was going to break through.
Here's Messi at the other end though. Middle of the half, still 2 minutes plus to play. Acuna out to the left hand side. The ball played in from the left flank from Otamendi of all people. Blocked inside the area. Then Rabiot is fouled. And that was a desperate foul because Argentina thought that France could be away, and Tagliafico is quite fortunate not to be yellow carded for that.
Oh, all the shape has gone from this game, and midfield's completely gone. It's just being bypassed,
which is great from our point of view.
Suits Mbappe down to the ground. He is just saving himself, waiting for those bursts, those moments of energy, those moments of just instinctive play between him and his teammates.
Ball headed infield for France, but cleared away by Otamendi. Argentina coming forward now. Argentina dominated the game for 80 minutes, really. Acuna Here's Alvarez on the left-hand side, the Manchester City youngster, to De Paul, and now square to Messi, and Messi on the edge of the D. Left foot shot saved by Lloris, leaping to his right. What a moment that was, and it was kept out by the flying French captain. It's a corner.
And that was the moment. I think once Messi chops inside two French defenders and gets the ball onto his left foot, you're thinking goal. What a save from Lloris Rob, flying to his right-hand side, big left hand.
He's just had a little bit of dip, a last-minute movement to his left-hand side. It's caught the left wrist as it's gone over the bar, but everyone was up. Commentators are up, crowd are up. Lloris was up as well.
What a World Cup final this is turning out to be. How dramatic, how unexpectedly dramatic. It's 2-2. We're heading into extra time. But Argentina have a corner. Messi plays it in. It's headed away at the near post. And now Koeman is fouled. Koeman is fouled as he was bringing it forward. That has to be a yellow card. It is for Acuna. And that was blatant from him. And France have a free kick, but they would have been away.
It was 3v3. It was 3v3 with Mbappe away, and no one was catching him. That is the best foul of this World Cup.
2-2, 5 live from the BBC. All those Argentina fans are sitting rather uncomfortably. I suspect Sir Jeff Hurst is sitting quite uncomfortably as well. The only man to have scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Here's Koeman down the right-hand side. Koeman's away from McAllister. Koeman with a cross. It takes a double bounce off Argentina players inside their own penalty area, but bounces out of the box, and Messi now takes it up inside his own half, deep inside his own half. Finds a brilliant pass forward to Alvarez down the left wing. French defenders getting back. Alvarez into the box now, and then flicks it back to the edge of the area to Messi, and Messi with Camavinga is able to hook it across. De Paul with the header, and it's nodded away on the edge of the box, and that's it. That is it. The 90 minutes plus are up, and we will have extra time here at the end of this World Cup final in Qatar. After a 2-2 draw, Argentina 2, France 2, a match that France had to transform and did.
I don't think anybody could see France coming back into this World Cup final, and yet they have. A bolt from Le Blues as we're underway, and it's France in all navy blue who in this first period of extra time on BBC Radio 5 Live are playing from right to left, and the momentum towards the end was certainly with the French in those two stunning goals, particularly the second one. Complete turnaround. So 2-2, and also Argentina have made a change at the start of extra time. Montiel has come on for Molina. It's a like-for-like change. The Sevilla right back, he was suspended for the semi-final against Croatia, and it's only his fourth appearance. Started against Mexico. He'd made a couple of appearances off the bench, so he's on. So Emi Martinez is in goal. Montiel, Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico, McAllister, Fernandez, De Paul and Acuna, Messi and Alvarez. Argentina in their white and sky blue striped shirts and white shorts are playing from left to right. And we have the French side with Hugo Lloris in goal, Koundé, Upamecano, Varane and Camavinga, Coman, Tchouaméni, Rabiot, Mbappe, Thuram and Kolo Muani. Here is Montiel for Argentina. Barged over by Thuram, free kick to Argentina. That's a growing concern for the fourth official, and I would imagine that during the extra time that the substitutes and the coaching staff, if you've ever been on a Sunday park football with the children in the morning and you see the overzealous parent who's just straying over the touchline and putting pressure on the officials, that type of behaviour has certainly been here in abundance tonight with both sets really of the bench, where at times they've gone over that and encroached onto the pitch, and the officials will be looking to try and cut that out. Here is Fernandez in the midfield for Argentina. Out it goes towards Acuna, wraps over the cross. Alvarez was making a run, comes out towards McAllister, who drills it off target. And so we press the reset button.
Yeah, there's a good ball in, whipped in from that left-hand side from Acuna. haven't been so effective, Argentina, since Di Maria went off, but Varane taking up that position in the near post space area, got a good enough connection. It's a poor effort, I think, from McAllister, who dragged this shot well wide.
It's the 8th World Cup final that has gone to extra time. Only 2 have been decided by penalties, 94 and 2006, as De Paul charges forward for Argentina. Little slip by Camavinga allows Messi, who then hauls back Camavinga. There was no attempt to play the ball there.
We should see yellow for that. But
any other player other than Messi, you're thinking it's a yellow card.
Absolutely, yep. Clear as day, but tends to get away with little things.
Camavinga, who started as a right back against Tunisia, playing as a left back here for France, is already 3 minutes into this first period of extra time. Tchouaméni, midway through his own half. BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and if you've been listening to us on the radio, you've been out and about on a Sunday afternoon and you're about to close to home, it's on BBC One, and you can listen to World Cup Extra on the iPlayer through to listen to our commentary as well as watch the pitches. And we've already had so much drama. You wait to see what else will unfold here in the Lusail Stadium. Tchouaméni plays it short. Camavinga over the halfway line.
France being direct, aren't they? With the ball from Lloris, just clipped forward. Rouhani winning the header.
Here is Rabiot, looking to try and get the ball through the middle to Colomouani, cleared by Romero. I mean, that's where the Dutch didn't learn their lessons, as Colomouani has won it back. It was a strong 50-50 ball dug out by Fernandes. After battling back with that dramatic finish from Wout Weghorst, they then went back into their shell a little bit, didn't they? And they didn't continue to play as direct that had caused Argentina all of the problems.
Well, you're thinking at the start of the game, you're saying if it's a chaotic game, it would suit Argentina more. This, now, if it's chaotic, it suits France with the players they've got on the pitch.
Free kick to France, and it's going to have to be retaken. There's going to be a change, in fact, down below. So this is the 5th substitute, but they are still allowed one more. They'll get an extra one in extra time, will France. And it's Rabiot who's coming off. And Rabiot, who was one of those players who's been fighting that virus, he's done well to last as long as he has, really. So Rabiot is off, and Youssef Fofana of Monaco comes on to replace him in the midfield. It was Fofana who in fact had deputised and started in that semi-final against Morocco. And in fact, suspected concussion is the reason that Rabiot has gone off.
Yeah, he took that blow towards the end of the second half, didn't he, on the back of the neck, side of the head. Spent some time getting treatment.
So Fofana here now in the midfield of the centre circle. Back to Upamecano. Camavinga at left back. Ball played up towards Mbappe on a hat-trick, looking to turn. He's only scored one hat-trick in his French career. Mind you, you think 35 goals he's now scored in 66 appearances. Romero's just getting a talking to from Marciniak. Mbappe has actually stayed down.
Holding his ankle. I thought it was his hamstring initially. His hands have moved further down. It's a strong challenge from Romero. So does that substitution, that has been a concussion substitute, can they have another one?
Yes, they can. 6.5 minutes played in this first period of extra time. 2-2. Remarkable turnaround. If you know somebody who doesn't like football, then just show them this game, because it just never ever ceases to amaze. McAllister out towards that far side. Acuna on the left with the cross, drops just away from Messi, puts back up towards Messi, lifted back in by De Paul, and out it goes for a goal kick. And now all of a sudden you can't call it. Yet for 80 minutes, you'd say Argentina all day long.
Yeah, it's one ball into the box, it's one tired run that needs to be made, one just gamble, just get in there. They didn't. It's a little bit slow, just a little bit laboured, and you just got to take that chance at some point. It's your chance to be a hero.
Could we be heading to a penalty shootout here in Lusail? Lloris goes long with the goal kick, headed away by Otamendi. Challenge comes in from Koundé on Acuna. Cross was an awkward one to deal with there for Romero, but stooping, he saw it back to Emi Martinez. He might have to produce the heroics just as he did against the Dutch in the quarter-final here inside this stadium, as we're midway through the first period of extra time here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Argentina 2, France 2. Fernandez to Montiel. Montiel back with Fernandez. Disting as the ball is Kolomuani, lifts it back on the inside of Montiel. Kolomuani edge of the area, goes into the box, quickly surrounded by the sky blue and white striped shirts, and stopped just at the right time. De Paul plays it down the line. Camavinga. France though have been re-energised with the substitutions that they've made. Here is Mbappe, nice little footwork, dances away from the challenge of Romero, who sets off in pursuit of Mbappe, and Mbappe's into the penalty box there, and in the end it was some very tired defending, managed to get the ball away.
Argentina just need to kick the ball off because De Paul can barely move.
Goes to ground under the challenge. That was Fofana, and he's got a free kick for his efforts as well. They look the stronger, the fresher side.
They do. Wasn't that a brilliant little run from Mbappe? Twinkle toes initially, and eventually enough Argentinian bodies back to win the ball back. But this is an opportunity. Now, free kick on this left-hand side. Koeman over the ball, right-footed in-swinger. I think the French have the height on the Argentinians.
All in navy playing from right to left. First period of extra time. Koeman to take it into a crowded area. Headed out by Fernandez. Fired back in by Fofana. Strikes the back of Fernandez, and then a leaping Messi has to concede the corner kick. Rob Green.
It's all France now. Swamp the box, are doing really well with positional shape. Just three on the edge. Just not allowing Argentina out. Argentina, deep breaths. Need to see these moments through.
Corner kick to France. Koeman to take it again on this near side, the left. In it goes. Headed out at the near post. Comes out to Fofana. Left-footed, pass it to Koundé. First time cross comes in. 8 yards out. Further header away by Acuna towards Messi. Challenged by Tchouaméni. And the referee has given a free kick to Argentina for a very late flag.
I think initially had given the foul. Awarded the free kick for a foul on Messi from Fofana, but wasn't sure about that once he gave the offside instead.
Argentina, who've got still a number of players to bring on. They've only made 2 changes so far, Acuna and Montiel. So they're going to bring on Lautaro Martinez, and also Paredes is going to be coming on in the midfield. But it's Kolomuani who was challenged there by Montiel. Referee says no foul, but then there was one on McAllister. And McAllister not happy. So here we're going to see a couple of changes. Lautaro Martinez, who's going to be coming off. De Paul is going to be coming off. Paredes will replace De Paul, so that will be in the midfield. He's had a fine game, fine tournament indeed, Rodrigo De Paul. And Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan, who scored the decisive penalty against the Dutch, comes on for Alvarez, who's worked himself into the ground.
Yeah, both De Paul and Alvarez barely moved by the end of the their time on the pitch. Martinez has the engine, although not long to show it. It's certainly one who can get around.
Still at 2-2 here in Lusail. We'll give you all of the reaction, all of the fallout from this dramatic World Cup final on the World Cup Daily Pod, available on BBC Sounds. Very soon it will revert to the 5 Live Football Daily. No doubt previews for the League Cup ties that we'll be bringing you on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday on BBC Radio 5 Live. But in this gripping World Cup final, who will come out on top as we approach the end of this first period of extra time? Romero, searching ball out towards the left, headed away by Koundé, brought down by McAllister. The Brighton player signed by Sam Jewell for £8 million. He's certainly going to be a real gem for Brighton, and they'll certainly triple that amount of money, one would imagine, for their new acting head of recruitment at the Amex, with 90 seconds remaining as the ball is played forward to Acuna, and Acuna on the edge of the area. Acuna tries to get the shot away, left-footed, couldn't keep it down, goes out of play for a goal kick, still 2-2.
Yeah, that was a sensational pass from Paredes near the halfway line. Fizzes in a pass to Acuna, who positioned himself in the corner of the 18-yard box. The ball rebounded back to the initial effort. Poor effort, wasn't it? The ball goes out to play for a French goal kick.
They look like they've gone to 3 at the back now, with Montiel as the wing back, with unless it was just for that set piece where Paredes had just dropped back inside the 2 central defenders. He certainly doesn't venture far, the holding midfielder, at the best of times anyway. Inside the last 60 seconds, Messi and McAllister try and combine. Messi comes away, back towards McAllister. The return ball to Messi. He's found Lautaro Martinez. Shot blocked. Comes out to Montiel, and then off the head of Varane and behind for a corner kick. What a game this has been. 2-2.
Well, what a block. That's as good as a goal, that from Upamecano. They work it superbly, Argentina. Messi pops the ball out to Martinez, and everybody's thinking he must score. Upamecano from nowhere gets the block on. Then the boy, I don't even know who shot that from the edge of the box, was hammered.
Montiel.
And headed behind.
It came off the head of Varane. By my watch, the 15 minutes of this first period of extra time are up. 1 minute of additional time, which we're now into. Argentina corner kick, far side to left. It's deep, it's high, and it's going to curl all the way out of the penalty area. And Tchouaméni and Fernandez go shoulder to shoulder, and it will be a France throw on this near side.
Caught that well, didn't he, Montiel? Like a kung fu style kick. He absolutely caught it flush.
Hasn't ever scored for Argentina. What a chance that would have been to get his first, as the ball is lifted forward. Lautaro Martinez goes forward, stabs it wide. It was Upamecano who went with him. They're appealing for a corner kick, but Marciniak is saying no.
It's a brilliant tackle, right at the death. Camavinga was playing him onside. It's the last throw of the leg as Martinez is about to shoot. Just enough on it.
Chance for another breather after the end of 90 minutes. Rob Green just slumped into his chair at the end of the 90 minutes. But we've got another 15 minutes of extra time here, and it's Argentina 2, France 2.
The second period of extra time begins. Argentina kick off. In the sky blue and white stripes, they're playing from right to left as we look from high up here on the dugout side of the Lusail Stadium, this great golden casket of a ball. And it is Argentina with Acuna down the left, and the ball is blocked away off Coleman, but Argentina keep it in play, and McAllister plays it square, and the newly arrived Paredes out to Messi on the right hand side, and here's the cross deep from Montiel, but that's got too much on it. It just drifts away over the goal and beyond the far post and behind for a goal kick. Rob Green and Chris Sutton are with us here witnessing this unforgettable FA unforgettable World Cup final that, I don't know about you two, but I would like to see this won before penalties. It's been such a good game. I'd just like to see it won in the conventional style.
I think you'd want someone to go for it in this next 15 minutes, to give it a real go, and just to throw caution to the wind. I get the feeling, as the minutes tick by, that might not happen.
No, I'm thinking that also.
But why don't we want a bit more drama, John?
I'd like genuine drama. I'd like a proper goal scored to win a match like this. Ball played over the top. Lloris has come out of his goal, and Montiel was chasing away down there from the full-back position, and Lloris shoved it away out for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Montiel has gone quickly across to take this. Those Argentina fans behind the goal, not as animated as they were for the first 80 minutes of the match, not by any means. Throwing into the penalty area. Messi shoots low, and Lloris has to go down and push it away, and the ball's still in play, and Upamecano puts in the challenge. One or two behind the goal shout rather hopefully that might have been a penalty. In fact, they've got a corner out of it off Upamecano.
I think he's given an offside somehow. I don't actually know what's gone on there, but he's given, as Lloris taking the goal kick, maybe it was an offside, but it was awkward goalkeeping, Rob, wasn't it, from Lloris?
I was about to say it was an awkward shot, actually, Chris, that was well saved.
Amazing how we think, isn't it?
Yep, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It is a goal kick that Lloris will take. 2-2 the score. If you've just joined us, you joined us late on 5 Live or on the BBC World Service across Africa, wherever you are, just imagining what it might be like in Buenos Aires right now. Ball played forward, through the middle, Lautaro Martinez lays it off Messi, then Fernandes, back to the right-hand side, the shot, oh Messi's there, it's cleared off the line, or is it over? Is it over? Messi in the 6-yard box, Messi's celebrating, he's celebrating, and the goal is given! Messi has scored it, and Argentina lead by 3 goals to 2. He was there in the 6-yard box when it mattered. It was blocked on the line, but it was over the line. And now, Messi, just like Mbappe, has scored 2 goals in this final. This unforgettable World Cup final here in Qatar. And Argentina are back in front again. 3-2 on France.
Yeah, it's just a hopeful ball initially. Martinez makes the run in behind, and then the ball's fed out wide. Martinez hammers a shot. It's a brilliant save from Lloris, instinctive save at his near post, but he just palms the ball down, and Messi, I think it's right-footed from Messi, gets the ball over the line, bundles it over the line, and Messi, has he had the final say?
The celebrations are still going on. They're still going on, and Messi now emerges from that. And this is at the end where the mass ranks of the Argentina fans are. And Messi punches the air over and over again. And now, on his own, he breaks away. 2 clenched fists in the air. Lionel Messi. What a moment. And he stands now and he turns and he raises his arms and he says to those Argentina fans, come on, up go the arms again. And they respond. What a moment, what theatre.
They celebrated with all 4 corners of the ground, and it's by inches. It goes in by inches. Varane staggering back over the line, cannot do enough to stop it going over the line. And everyone from the bench, everyone behind the goal was up.
And credit to Argentina as well. You know, a moment like that, they had 3 men in blue and white shirts inside the French penalty area. Fernandes and Lautaro Martinez, and then ultimately Messi in the 6-yard box. I'm not sure what sort of contact he actually got on it, but it was enough to get it on target and over the line before Varane cleared it away. 3-2 Argentina lead, just like it was when they last won the World Cup in 1986. That finished 3-2 to Diego Maradona's Argentina.
And is it fair to say, John and Rob, that wasn't a goal you'd necessarily associate with Lionel Messi 2 yards out?
Was it a Chris Sutton goal?
It was off his foot, not his shin.
He was offside in the build-up, but it didn't go to him, and that was just the bit of fortune they needed.
So Messi now moves back alongside Mbappe on 7 goals at this World Cup. France aren't finished yet though, and here's Thuram on the left hand side. Nice footwork from him, but it's smacked away downfield by Argentina. Varane with a header across to Upamecano, who nods it back to Lloris. And again the holders now are facing defeat. They are, well, they're 10 minutes from losing this World Cup final, but they've been there before. Ball through the middle for Mbappe, he can't get there. Huge cheer because Paredes did for Argentina. The ball bounces to Acuna here. Acuna just gets to it before it rolls over the white line. Lautaro Martinez is chasing this. Varane is watching the ball down into the fullback position, and he stumbled as he passed the ball out of play. I think he's suggesting that he got a shove, but Lautaro Martinez didn't seem to be close enough to him.
No, I think he's just absolutely shattered, completely broken physically chasing that ball.
And remember, Varane was one of the players who's affected by the illness this week, and he's on his knees, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue.
One of the Argentinian substitutes picked the ball up and volleyed it. I think it nearly went into the top tier there.
Varane's leaving the action. He's been led away up the touchline.
Canate
Canate has come on to replace him, so that was done double quick by Didier Deschamps. So Ibrahima Canate of Liverpool is on the field in the World Cup final, where Argentina lead France by 3 goals to 2, and now time is running out again for France. Acuna has got the ball next to the corner flag. Acuna putting his foot on it. He's been leaned into by Coleman, who wasn't able to get the ball away, so Acuna's got it back, and eventually it does run out of play, and referee Martinez says, come on, let's have the ball back. And actually another ball has appeared, so Lloris has taken that. So even though the referee's over here, play's underway, and Camavinga is already advancing towards the halfway line. France came back from 2-0 down. Now they're 3-2 down, and then Montiel just slides in and catches Camavinga so late, and he's taken him out around the shins. I think he was already off the ground, Camavinga there. He saw it coming, he stayed down. There's a bit of a dust up now, pushing and shoving. Most of the players on the field are involved in that, but it's calmed down very quickly.
I think Montiel knew what he was doing, and every French player knew what he was doing and reacted accordingly.
And a yellow card for Paredes. Yellow carded for that. Right, free kick for France. Out towards the left-hand side. Coleman has gone across there to take it. The scoreline in this thrilling blockbuster 2022 World Cup final is 3-2 to Argentina. Coleman takes the free kick in. Players go down in the area. It's headed away for Argentina. Comes back to the right-hand side. Koundé is there. The right back. His pass was a little short to Tchouameni. Now Canate heads it back to Koundé, and Koundé's pass forward, and then it's bouncing on the right-hand side for Canate, and Canate now looking to cross, and that's blocked by the defender behind Tagliafico for a corner to France. French corner from the right, 5 minutes to go. Another change is going to be made. It's an Argentina change. That's it for Alexis McAllister, who the referee is saying, he's actually sort of leaned into him, the referee. He's up to say, come on, you get yourself to the halfway line. And it is German Pesela of Real Betis who is coming on, central defender, replacing midfielder. Play will resume with a French corner. This is in the end to our right, where all of those red, white and blue flags are being waved. So Pesela is on. Coleman with a corner for France. This is a deep one. Oh, it takes a flick off a couple of heads. Tchouameni. Mbappe with a shot. That's blocked in the area. It's a penalty. The referee's seen a handball. 2 Argentine defenders threw them in the threw themselves in the way of that shot from Mbappe. The referee was instant. He pointed to the spot and he's seen the outstretched arm. It's the right decision. It's Montiel and it's a penalty, and Mbappe will have a chance to become the second man to score a penalty, to become the second man to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Chris Sutton.
I don't think we could have any more drama. I thought that was it. Di Maria in tears on the bench for Argentina. Mbappe has to pop this one in. I thought it was a penalty.
Yep.
I thought the arm was out as Montiel just turned his back slightly. Mbappe hammered the shot trying to find that far top corner. What a moment.
What a moment indeed. Now he is up against the arch penalty saver from Aston Villa, Emiliano Martinez, who very nearly got the earlier penalty that he scored in this match. But this, a moment of history in a World Cup final. Only Sir Geoff Hurst has scored a hat-trick on the greatest stage of all. But now, Kylian Mbappe in the golden boots from the penalty spot, attempting to score his second spot kick of the final. It's there! He sends Martinez the wrong way, and France have now made it 3-3. And Kylian Mbappe joins Sir Geoff Hurst as a World Cup final hat-trick scorer. What amazing drama we have witnessed here in Doha in this World Cup final, and it's not over yet. And Mbappe now 8 goals at this tournament. 3-3.
Well, Mbappe, golden balls. What courage, what belief, what confidence to slot that in. Martinez dived left, but the pace, the accuracy from Mbappe, I actually think he slipped, his foot gives away slightly, but finds the corner. This is going to go all the way.
Messi scores in extra time, Mbappe scores in extra time, and now Argentina are breaking forward again, and the ball almost bounces for Messi 25 yards out, but it's cleared away. Argentina 3, France 3. What a storyline. And now Messi picks up the ball and sets off running at the French defence. Defenders throw themselves in on the edge of the D and are able to block it away. Comes back for Argentina. Out to the left-hand side. Those Argentina fans trying to suck this in. Acuna with the cross comes off. Koundé and spins away behind, wide of the near post and behind for an Argentina corner. Rob Green.
Well, at the start of the game, we said it's not all about Messi and Mbappe.
I'll take it all back. But in fairness, Di Maria did score one of the goals. So Messi to take the corner from the left-hand side. What chance they both score a hat-trick in the final? Not from here. It's a corner that is whipped into the edge of the D. France are able to clear it, bounces down for Koundé, and he clears it out on the far side. Well, we're in the last minute now of extra time. There's added time to come. You would guess 2 or 3 minutes, judging by the standards of this World Cup. But it looks like there will be that extra drama of a penalty shootout. And you've got to give France so much credit for digging themselves out of hole after hole. And here they come now with Mbappe on the left-hand side. And Mbappe right for the cross. And a stretching header that is just wide. Oh my goodness. Oh, what drama.
Well, this is sensational from Mbappe, because as the ball goes out to the left-hand side, naturally I think we're all thinking he's going to run at the Argentinian back line, but he gets his head up and whips in a tantalising ball, and Muani, 8 yards out. I don't think he gets any contact on the header, but it goes agonisingly past the far post, and Martinez was at full stretch.
I don't think he got anything on it. France making another change. Disasi, the Monaco defender, is coming on for Koundé, and Argentina also going to make a change. It's Dybala coming on. Paulo Dybala is barely been involved in this World Cup. Came on as a late substitute in the semi-final. Has had an injury coming into this, but clearly Dybala coming on with penalties in mind, and he is taking the place of Tagliafico.
That took an eternity to go wide. It just drifted and bounced and slowly. No one knew whether that was going in or not. What a game we've had,
Haven't we just? There can't have been too many better World Cup finals than this. I remember a time when they were very often a letdown. World Cup finals, but not this one. So 3-3, and it looks as though only the third World Cup final to go to penalties will be the outcome here in Doha. What a finale it's been. Ball is with Argentina. 3 minutes of time have been added at the end of this second period of extra time. So there are still 90 seconds to play. Time for one last twist, perhaps, which is what Acuña's doing now, twisting and playing the ball forward. And Dybala is able to get a touch on that. Lautaro Martinez can't get there. France clear. Canate to the halfway line. Fernandes plays it through the middle. Messi plays it over the top. Lautaro Martinez is in. Might have been fouled. Still going. Defender blocks it. It comes out. And the offside flag is up against Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, it was offside. It was never onside at any point. So it was a clear offside, and just the way this game's gone, you just never know.
Well, 40 seconds to play, Chris Sutton. 40 seconds. 6:06 to come with you and Robbie Savage. You'll have plenty to talk about after this.
Yeah, I'm not quite thinking about 6:06 just at this moment, John.
No? So, penalty shootout, seconds away. France played over the top. Mouani's in. Oh, what a save by Martinez! Stuck out a left leg, came out, did a star jump, and Mouani's shot hit that left leg. And now the final attack. It's Argentina, and it's played forward into the area on the right, flicked across. Oh, the header is wide from Lautaro Martinez from 10 yards. What a finish! What a finish! And the header well wide. He got it all wrong, actually. It was wide by probably 10 yards.
He did, but what a chance. But the earlier one from Mouani, the ball, just a helpful ball over the back line of the Argentinian defence, and Mouani one-on-one. Just how crucial could that save be from Martinez? Mouani just went for power, is thinking, I'm going to put my foot through it. And Martinez spread himself brilliantly, Rob.
Huge save, huge moment. He just made himself as big as he could.
We're still playing. I don't think the referee wants this to finish. I don't think any of us do. Here's Mbappe, who's set away by Tchouaméni, but down into the fullback position. Mbappe taking on Montiel, one way and the other. Beats him again. Mbappe still going. Oh, the cross comes, the covering challenge to put it out of play.
Just shoot.
If he'd scored that, I would have walked out. And that's it. What a World Cup final. One of the best. Argentina 3, France 3, and everyone on their feet inside this Lusail Stadium here in Doha to give them a standing ovation. What entertainment. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, crazy end to this game. Well, it's been a crazy game overall, hasn't it? And somehow France dig deep again. I've got to say, I thought it was a penalty when it looked like Messi had got the winning goal from a yard or two for Argentina. But that save from Martinez, I just wonder whether that could be the biggest moment in this game, because Mouani should have scored, but that's huge.
Martinez at one end, Martinez at the other end, and it's finished. Argentina 3, France 3, Mbappe hat-trick, 2 from Messi, 1 from Di Maria. What a match. Penalties become.
It'll be France to go first. Emi Martinez, remember, saved the first 2 penalties against the Dutch, and it is Mbappe who comes first. You'd imagine that Messi will follow suit. He did against the Netherlands. It's Mbappe, he scored a hat-trick, and he scored the first penalty, right-footed, left-hand side. I think Emi Martinez got a hand on it.
Well, it's gone the same way. every penalty. He just backs himself. It's a brilliant penalty. I tell you what, Martinez flying to his right-hand side. Left fingertips to the ball, but enough power.
Interesting choice that as well. Remember, Mbappe had the penalty saved against Switzerland at the Euros last year, which was the decisive penalty. This time Mbappe took the first one. And it is Lionel Messi then. Messi, who's already scored a penalty past Lloris in this match in normal time in the first half. That was the opening goal. So Messi against Lloris, take two. Left foot. Oh! Lloris went the wrong way but still had time to adjust but couldn't get there, and it's in. It's 1-1 in the shootout.
I don't think I've ever seen someone hit one so slowly and it still go in. That is backing yourself. He waited and watched and waited. He took one to Lloris's left-hand side first, that one the other way. Lloris just a fraction slow on it.
Kingsley Coman comes forward. He's placed the ball on the spot. He was one of the players who'd been hit with this virus in the build-up to this final. Not the longest of run-up for Coman. Right-footed. Saved by Martinez! Martinez with the heroics for Argentina! And Coman's had it saved.
Just guesses the right way. Martinez. It's quite a tame penalty from Coman. It's not going right into the corner, but Martinez flies to his right-hand side. Comfortable save. Advantage Argentina.
So Martinez makes the save. Saved two penalties against the Dutch in the shootout, Van Dijk and Berghuis. And remember how Martinez made those crucial saves in the Copa America semi-final last year. So Dybala next for Argentina, left-footed right down the middle, and Lloris diving to his left, tried to get there with his feet, but the ball was past him, low and in the net.
It's risky because he's hit it low. If you're going to go straight, give it a little bit of lift, because the goalkeeper can always leave his feet there. The trailing foot might save it. It's close.
Tchouaméni now comes forward for France, the only player in this French squad who started all 7 games. And Emi Martinez, who saved those 3 penalties against Colombia in the Copa America semi-final, has just tossed the ball away. He's picked it up. The Argentinian supporters during that tournament loved him. He was into the trash talking, into the gamesmanship, and he's at it again. He saved the 2 penalties against Van Dijk and Berghuis against the Dutch. He's saved one already. It's a shootout live on 5 Live. France with Tchouaméni. He's missed it. He's pulled it wide. They only converted 1 out of their 3. It's advantage Argentina now.
Yeah, Martinez was in Tchouaméni's head there. He actually threw the ball to the side, made Tchouaméni walk 20 yards and pick up the ball, give him more thinking time. Little dance from Martinez, but Argentina can't lose it from here, can they?
So that makes it is still 2-1 to Argentina in the shootout. They very much have the edge, and it's Paredes now, the Paris Saint-Germain man on loan at Juventus. Steps back, little steps now, right-footed penalty, and it's beyond Lloris, down to his right. It's in. 3-1 Argentina lead in the shootout, and they're on the brink again.
Go hard, go low. He does both. Lloris guesses right. It's too hard, too strong, too good a penalty.
Randall Kolomuani comes forward. What pressure on the 24-year-old who was only called up to the squad due to the injury to Christopher Nkunku. Martinez is shown a yellow card, but he's now whipping up the crowd. But the Argentinian goalkeeper has just been booked. Kolomuani has to score. He runs up now and goes right down the middle with a powerful right-footed finish, and France are still in it.
Yeah, if in doubt, put your foot through it. Luani right-footed, laces through the ball, hammers it down the middle of the goal. Still hope.
Montiel, Gonzalo Montiel, the right back, the substitute. He could be the man who wins it. The son of a bricklayer and a cleaner is now here in Qatar with a chance to win the World Cup for Argentina. And up he comes right-footed and scores! And off comes the shirt! And up go the fans! And Argentina have won the World Cup again! For the first time since 1986! What a match! What a finale! And that penalty seals it for Lionel Messi and his team. And they're in raptures. Argentine celebrations all over the pitch in 3 different areas, 3 different huddles. The crowd are up. There are hugs and kisses and tears. Great French disappointment, of course. The holders lose at the last, not able to retain the title. But it is Lionel Messi and his young muchachos who can celebrate it. And there he is now, right in the middle. He's walked away on his own. Lionel Messi will cap his career here. The crowning moment, the crowning glory. He's waving both hands above his head and he's blowing them kisses. What a brilliant finish to a brilliant international career for the great little man, the Argentine number 10. And across from his teammates and the staff and envelop him in hugs. 4-2 the final score in the penalty shootout after a 3-3 draw. Drama of the highest standard. And Didier Deschamps down there all on his own with his hands on his hips. So close to successfully defending the title, but have fallen just short. Rob Green, Chris Sutton.
A brilliant match, one of the all-time World Cup finals, capped fittingly to win it for one of the all-time players. He has his moment, everyone's exhausted, players are out on their feet, everybody has put everything into it. It's been an amazing spectacle.
It's hard to know what to say, isn't it? You know, Messi looks like this is his final World Cup. What a way to go out. That moves him up alongside the great Diego Maradona. But what drama, that Martinez save at the end of extra time. And the Argentinians stayed composed in the shootout. Martinez was in the French players' heads, wasn't he? Made a great save, and look, I'm not so sure how I feel about lobbing the ball away from Tchouameni and making him go and pick the ball up. But it did the trick. Feel for Didier Deschamps, feel for his French team who showed so much resilience, kept coming back and back again. But it's Messi's final, it's Argentina's final, and to think they started this tournament losing to Saudi Arabia, John.
And you feel also for Kylian Mbappe scoring a hat-trick in the World Cup final and ending on the losing side. But there we are, Diego Maradona and friends won the World Cup in 1986. In 2022, Lionel Messi and friends win the World Cup in Qatar. Argentina 3, France 3, and Argentina win the shootout 4-2.